And I just realized that my mic wasn't turned on. So let's try this again. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Raw Law with the DUI guy. Today, as you all know, we are going to be doing the second volume. So, as you know, Incredibly Average has been releasing Amber Heard's TRO hearing in parts, and he's been commenting on them. So I've just been waiting for him to release the combined parts. We did volume 1, which was parts 1 and 2. And today we're going to be doing volume 2, which is parts 3 and 4, for a couple of reasons. I think number one, it's cleaner, as he's about to tell you. There's no commentary. You know, I don't have to pause and skip around and mess with it. The audio is clear. The video is clear. And we get to sit through a full 2 hours rather than doing it 1 hour at a time. I mean, at the end of the day, sure, it's more content for me, but I try to make it easier for you guys as well, right? So we are going to be diving right in. So without further ado, here is parts 3 and 4, volume 2. I'm going to be reacting to it throughout. By the way, some of you who may not know, this is the one that includes 2 things. And I think Incredibly Average is going to be saying it. I haven't watched it yet. This is a cold watch for me. But I watched his intro. This includes the turd, the dog turd that Amber left on Johnny's bed and blamed on the dog. And this also includes her admitting under oath, right? Under oath. You can't see my hand if I do this because it's hidden behind the screen. Under oath, her admitting that despite the fact that there was a no contact order by the court, she was adamantly violating that order on a regular basis. And of course, as always, don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, join on as a member if you are so inclined to have access to perks. Members, go ahead and spam all our new emojis in the chat right now so that people can see what they are signing up for if they do join on as a member. All right, let's get to it.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well, and thanks for coming back to the channel. And thanks for your patience as you await these uploads. My work schedule's been pretty stacked lately with not many days off right now. I'm not able to be a full-time YouTube creator at the moment, but I really appreciate everyone's support through this journey so far. As you know, I, along with Jax, have been hosting live presentations of Amber Heard's never-before-seen 2016 deposition testimony. Due to the length of the depo, we've been breaking it into parts. At the time of recording this audio, we're currently up to part 5, I believe. Of course, those lives include interruptions to discuss and add context and to engage with the viewers. So, as we continue to put out parts, I'm releasing what I call volumes, made up of 2 parts.
And this is volume 2.
Without our faces on the screen and without interruptions and with better video quality. Of course, anyone can feel free to use these or clip these or however you'd like to use them. All we ask is that you credit the channel in your description or in your video itself. And
shout
we really
out to
do
you,
appreciate
bro.
that. This is volume 2. It is parts 3 and 4 combined into one long run. In it, you'll see some highlights like Amber repeatedly attempting to contact Johnny Depp and using a mutual friend to convince him to meet her even though she knew a restraining order was in place. You will also see Amber discuss the size of her teacup Yorkie when the questioning turns to a rather unsanitary topic. Keep in mind that when you watch that portion, that Amber's dog, Boo, is at most in 2016 6 pounds as noted and compared to these grooming papers from 2019. I want to thank you again for watching, and if you'd be so kind, you can always like, subscribe, comment, and share. So without further ado, let's get started with volume 2.
Let's do it. So the first few seconds, there's no audio. It's not your speakers. They haven't turned on the audio yet, so just bear with it. Nothing is really being said right now. You're not missing anything. This is after the break for lunch.
The record reflects this marks the beginning of media number 2 in the video deposition of Amber Depp. The time is approximately 12:25 p.m. and we're back on the record.
Wait, did he just call her Amber Depp? Already, look at that. We're barely 10 seconds into the video and already we have content. Thank you, content gods. What the fuck? Amber Depp? Okay, it's us who haven't done this video in like couple of weeks, but the last time where we left off, if y'all remember, it was like 30 minutes ago. Like, how short is his fucking attention span to where he's like, how would you like to be called? Amber Heard? Okay, Amber Heard. All right, so Ms. Depp, Amber Depp, like, question, like, what? Who was that? Was that the guy from the court reporting service? Like, does he have the memory of a goldfish? Amber Depp. She's not Amber Depp. She specifically asked, if you all remember from the last video, she said, they asked her, how would you, well, it was the lawyer. It was the lawyer for Johnny Depp's side. How would you like me to call you, milady? You know, curtsy. Like, how do you want me to call you? Please refer to me as Amber Heard. I'm now disconnected from that, you know, pirate or whatever. So she's like, okay, all right, no problem. We'll call you Ms. Heard. Amber Heard, Ms. Heard. And now, boom, we come up after the break. I mean, if it's to throw her off, fantastic. I love that. I love that. I just want to watch her face one more time when he says it. Watch her face.
Number 2 in the video deposition of Amber Depp. The time is approximately 12.
She pursed her lips. She did it made her uncomfortable. It clearly made her uncomfortable. I don't know if it was done on purpose or not, Susan. I have no clue. But I love everything about it.
25 p.m. and we're back on the record.
Ms. Heard, before we get back to the text we were talking about that you sent to Mr. Depp, I realized that I needed to go over with you a subpoena that was served on you regarding the production of documents. May I do that briefly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Show me.
Yes, I'm going to be marking as...
Okay, so what is production of documents? For those of you unfamiliar with the legal process, okay, before you do depositions, there are 3 paper tools that a civil defense attorney or a civil plaintiff's attorney can use. And they are, 1, interrogatories, where you just have a bunch of questions to be laid out for the person just to clear up any issues in the case. 2, requests for admissions. This is where you have blank, like not blank, but blatant questions like admit or deny the following statement, and then the statement, and then you just admit or deny. Again, to resolve some more issues in the case. And finally, you have what she referred to as production of documents. So there was a request done by Depp's lawyer's team for a request for production of documents. They said, hey, we want you to give us these pieces of paper. Please provide them to us. We need them. So she's about to refer to them.
Exhibit H, a pleading entitled Respondent's Notice of Deposition of Petitioner Amber Laura Depp and Request for Production of Documents pursuant to Code of Civil Procedure 2025.010 et sec. May I hand this document to you? Sure. Thank you.
I like how
Ms.
she
Heard,
asks for permission. She doesn't
want
have
to draw
to.
your attention to page 7 of that document. Have you ever received this document?
No.
Okay. Were you ever made aware of this document?
If they're counsel, don't answer. Privileged.
That again, that is an improper objection for purposes of the deposition. Here we go. I'm about to start blowing a fuse already. For purposes of the deposition, it's even if it's inadmissible, you can still ask it. You can still elicit an answer. They will determine later whether or not it will be admissible in court. Like, for the love of God, like this lawyer is acting so improper. So improper. You can't instruct your witness not to answer, even if you suspect that it is privileged. He doesn't even know if it's privileged or not. He said if.
Were you ever made aware of this document?
If they're counsel, don't answer.
How do you know? If now she's just a fucking witness. How does she know? She doesn't know what it is. Like, is it a lawyer document? Or is it another lawyer? Is it a court document? All right, let me access my legal which I don't fucking have any.
Are you going to answer my question?
Yeah, I just did, no, I did not. I've never seen this.
Okay. Drawing your attention to page 7. Ms. Hurd, did you provide all writings, documents, and/or communications between you and Raquel Pennington from December 1, 2015 through today?
I didn't
Don't wait.
receive this, so why would I have done that?
Again, just
Don't give any communications with counsel, and that would include handing them things, talking to them.
Okay, so it should.
What?
Don't answer. If you,
Mr. Harder has an inaccurate understanding of the
Thank you.
attorney-client privilege objection. My questions pertaining to your belief or understanding of things does not ask you for communications with your attorneys. I do not care to know what your attorney said to you or communicated to you. I'm asking about your knowledge or understanding. That's all I'm asking about.
that was not the question, though.
Yes,
Do you
it was.
understand what I just said?
It's confusing because you asked one question about what did you
Mr.
hand
Harder,
them.
I'm not asking you whether you understand. I'm asking the witness.
Look, you just gave a speech, Blair, and I can respond to your speech. Your speech is that you're confusing everybody in the room because your question had to do with, did you produce things? And now you're talking about an understanding. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't either.
I don't either. I'm just gonna jump on that boat.
Prior,
It's what my cute lawyer said, so I'm just gonna follow along. Thank you, Mr. Herter. Yes, Ms. Blair. I got nothing for you. Nothing. Nothing. Can you spell it? Nothing. Any other questions? Can I go home now? Nothing.
to sitting here today, did you ever provide to any other person writings, documents, or communications between you and Raquel Pennington from December 1, 2015 through today?
If your
I swear to
delivery
fucking
of
God.
materials was to counsel, it's privileged. You can't answer.
Incorrect.
Again, for the record, that is a misunderstanding of the law. Ms.
Correct.
Hurd.
That's your
And I'm
position.
asking
That's the
you
correct position.
if prior to today, you ever provided to any other person writings, documents, or communications between you and Raquel Pennington?
And don't answer because we have a difference of opinion as to what the law is.
You mean
I
a
don't know what
correct
it
one
means.
and an incorrect one? We have a difference of opinion. She is stating what the law is. I am bastardizing and butchering what the law is and trying to gaslight everybody in the room. So far, actually, tactics I have personally learned from Amber Heard. That's is why we get along so well. And I say, love ya, periodically to her. The fuck?
It's briefed this issue or it's been heard by any court in this case. So I have to respect my position and you respect your position because the way it works with privilege is that if you divulge privilege, it can be a waiver and we have to protect against that. So if the question is asking for any communications that you had with counsel, which would include handing documents or delivery of documents, I believe that to be privileged and I instruct you not to answer unless and until there's a court order that says I'm wrong.
Oh, there will be. And you are wrong.
Prior to today, Ms. Hurd, did you provide any other person with writings, documents, and/or communications between you and Elizabeth Mars from December 1, 2015 through today's date pertaining or relating to the incidents of December 2015, April 21, 2016, or May 21, 2016?
If it's a interaction with
Oh my fucking God. This guy cannot shut up. He is not under oath. He is not the one answering questions. This has literally become a lawyer is asking a question of a sworn witness, and an unsworn motherfucker in the corner is like, excuse me, I have an opinion on the matter. That is not how depositions go. If you have an objection, you can state like objection to the form of the question, an objection to, you can object to the content. This isn't a trial, and this definitely isn't a fishing expedition, because it seems like if it were, first of all, he would make that objection, number one, and number two, it's not because she's asking her simple questions. He keeps interrupting and interjecting because this is the liar objection. Objection, Your Honor, that question like really hurts my case. And you can't block the witness from answering because the answer potentially hurts your case. Because otherwise, then there'll be no point in having a justice system. The whole point is that both sides get heard, and then before the judge will determine, look, okay, so these things that were stated by Ms. Heard at the deposition are, for whatever reason, not admissible in court. That's fine. That's fine. It happens all the time. But you can't just entirely be like, do not respond, do not answer. That lawyer should be fucking disbarred. But the saddest thing, because these sleazy tactics win defense cases, they really do, especially if the plaintiff's lawyer does not know how to handle it. And I'm not saying Blair doesn't. I'm not saying that. I think she is well aware of the situation. She's just approaching it very cavalierly. I absolutely adore this woman. She's doing everything she can to make sure that the record is clear and is made for posterity when they're actually going to be going to court, because this deposition, she already knows, is already like a cesspool of content. It really, truly is. But that lawyer, like I said, should be disbarred, because this is not how you do a proper deposition. But, and I'm sure he's smirking about this statement somewhere, because lawyers like that do get hired on a regular basis because they abuse the system, they abuse the process, they abuse their power, they abuse their license. I just realized her lawyer and Amber like really belong together. They're both abusers. Food for thought.
Counsel, then it's privilege, and I instruct you not to answer.
Prior to today's date, or prior to you sitting here, did you provide any of the documents I referred to from Raquel Pennington today in the production you made?
I'm going to instruct you that if what she's asking is an understanding that you have from communicating with counsel, I instruct you not to answer. Whatever documents were produced were produced.
Did you produce any documents today, Ms. Heard?
We produced documents. We have.
See, like, he's not even giving her a second to open her mouth. As soon as she's just like, he opens his mouth and begins to answer questions. Again, he's not under oath. He can lie through his teeth at a deposition and defeats the whole purpose of a deposition. She is the only sworn witness. She took an oath to tell the truth. Her lawyer didn't. He can say whatever he wants. He's not subject to the penalties of perjury or obstructing a government process or anything like that. He is testifying. Exactly, ghostwriter. He is not supposed to be doing that. Now, I will say this. If you remember the last volume we did, it was kind of similar. In the very beginning, he is just like, object, like trying to throw Blair off. But he runs out of steam very quickly. And once he runs out of steam, Blair begins steamrolling Amber. Remember that? That happened last time. Let's see if it happens again today.
Have it on the record. We have it on the record.
Ms.
You were
Heard?
looking at them. Laura even said there were 2 inches of documents that you just received from Ms. Heard's counsel.
And all she's asking is if they're responsive to the document production request.
That's
Is it
not the question.
Is it your position that any documents that are produced under deposition notice are privileged documents and therefore they shouldn't be produced? Just make sure that it's clear,
We
because
just
when
wanna
we
be
make
clear,
our
Mr.
motion in
Hunter.
limine, I want to make sure that you're the one that's taking that position.
I don't know what you're
Because they
talking
won't
about.
be presented in
I don't know what
trial.
you're talking
We're going to
about.
exclude them all because obviously you're objecting under the attorney-client privilege. I love it. Just tell us. Keep going, Blair.
Hang on. Laura,
Oh, I love that. I love that because now finally he was put in his spot once again. Like every time he starts abusing the process, because that's exactly what he's doing, he's abusing the deposition process. He gets on this rant and roll and he starts doing stuff. He doesn't realize the consequences of his words and his actions. And one of Blair's colleagues, as you heard in the background, was like, I love the fact that you're doing this. You're basically saying everything is subject to attorney-client privilege and none of this is admissible. Like all the documents that you gave us, they're not admissible in court. Like you can't use them. They're junk. They're garbage. And now watch, he already started. He's backtracking. He's like, now wait a minute. That is not what I said. Oh shit, what the fuck have I done? Okay, well, let me just clear the record here. I don't remember what the fuck I said. All right, you know what? Just go ahead and answer everything they're asking you because I don't fucking have a clue what's going on anymore. You should probably fire me. Like I don't know what's going on anymore.
you're being extremely argumentative and you're completely out of line.
So sorry.
Documents were produced.
Did you hear her? You are completely out of line, and she's like, so sorry. Like eye roll. That wasn't even a sincere one. Love it.
And we have made that clear. If you can't handle being in the room, maybe you shouldn't be in the room.
Right.
It's my room, babe. Please keep going.
Ms.
Maybe you
Hurd,
should control yourself in your own room.
Ms. Hurd,
Whoa, 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 whoa. What? Did she just call him babe?
Handle being in the room, maybe you shouldn't be in the room.
It's my room, babe. Please keep going.
Ms.
Maybe you
Hurd,
should control yourself in your own room.
Ms. Hurd, did you produce documents today related to these proceedings?
It's my room, babe. That's what you fucking get. Now, mark my words. I'm willing to place a bet with you all that he is going to be a quiet little puppy for at least the next maybe couple of minutes before he may say something later. But on this topic, he's finally going to shut up about it because I think he realized that he's been cornered. Oh yes.
I
See,
believe my
she
counsel-
looked at him. She looked at him and was like, "Are you gonna object again? Like, are you gonna no? Oh, okay. So I'm answering. I'm finally talking after 8 minutes of this bullshit.
Okay. Did you ever have anything to do with that? Those documents
What do you
that were,
mean?
have you ever given any documents related to this case for production today?
Privilege, don't answer.
Ms. Hurd, Ms. Hurd, in terms of the documents produced today, can you tell us what you did to gather any documents produced? What your actions were?
You're asking me what my actions were to produce any document.
Any of the documents that were produced today,
What do
as
you mean?
Mr. Harder's mentioned, were already on the record, were produced. Could you tell us what conduct acts you undertook related to the documents that were produced today?
Sure. Which documents are you talking about?
The documents you produced for these proceedings today.
See, I fucking called it. Mr. Harder just turned into Mr. Softer.
I don't know what my counsel brought today, so I can't tell you how they were procured.
Okay. I'm just interested in the ones that you procured.
Let's
My counsel brought them. I did not bring them.
Okay. Did you procure any of them?
I'm sure.
Did you?
I mean, I without seeing
Can
which
she-
ones we're talking
can
about.
she look at them?
Did you participate in procuring of any of the documents that were produced today, or do you
Depends
know?
on-
Stop, wait,
Yeah, and I knew what I
slow
had done.
way down. You're being argumentative and harassing. She would like to look at the documents. She's already said that.
I'd
And
be-
you're not showing them to her.
Um,
We're not taking a lunch break yet. Oh, at the lunch break, we can show it to her?
They're your documents. She can see them whenever she wants.
She's asked for them. Why don't you give it to her? Why is there so
You
much
have
trickery
Mr.
going
Harder,
on?
you provided them. Do you not have a copy?
There-
Trickery, bro? Seriously? Trickery. after everything that you have done, Mr. Softer, you have the audacity to say, what is this trickery going on? After you have abused the system, abused the process, abused the rules of a deposition, went completely above and beyond any objection you are permitted, that you know you are permitted in a deposition. After you have been cornered and you had to defend yourself and realized you lost, the minute they finally begin to gain traction, you begin to call that trickery? Documents that she, Amber, that is, herself provided to you. Simply ask, can you, which specific documents? That's what, can you clarify, Blair? Which specific documents are you referring to? But instead, you chose, that is a dirty on a level I can't even. I would love to be in a deposition room with you because I will turn you into a puddle. Because people like you do not deserve the oxygen that they breathe. You are vile. And it explains why you had Amber as a client at the time. I now understand. I already knew about the stuff before, but this, you just have no chill, like none. None. You have no brakes. You have no moral compass. You're just like, whatever helps my position at whatever cost, at whatever anyone's expense, just spews out of your mouth like bile. You are atrocious, Mr. Softer. You are absolutely atrocious.
You're
You have the
not,
documents?
I don't have a copy, and the witness doesn't have a
I'm
copy.
just sitting here in front of you.
Ms. Hurd, did you, prior to sitting where you just referred to, ever obtain or produce to another person any and all writings, documents, and or communications between you and Io Tillett Wright from December 1, 2015 to today when you're sitting here?
And again, the privilege objection is if you exchange documents with counsel, I consider that to be privileged.
Okay.
That is not correct.
You're not answering, Ms. Hurd?
I'm taking my counsel's advice and protecting privilege.
Ms. Hurd, prior to sitting here at deposition today, did you at any time produce to another person or look for any and all writings, documents, and or communications between you and Jody Gottlieb from December 1, 2015 through the time you were sitting here for deposition?
And again, the privilege objection is the exchange of information between you and counsel is privileged, and I instruct you not to answer that particular question.
Okay.
You can't instruct
Prior
your
to
witness
sitting
not
here
to
today-
answer. Literally, the words that just left his lips, I instruct you not to answer, is prohibited. Like literally, it's one of the rules of a deposition. You cannot, as an attorney, to tell your witness to refuse to answer. Think about it. Imagine this is a court proceeding and you have a witness on the stand, the Johnny Depp trial. You guys were all there, right? You saw. Imagine in the middle, rather than like objection leading, objection relevance, it would be like, objection, don't answer that. Everybody would look at the lawyer like, what the fuck are you on? It's the same thing. You can't be like, objection, don't answer that, on the grounds of privilege, which are wrong, by the way. See, if I were Blair, this is what I would do. I would take a pause. I would turn off all the cameras. I would get the judge on the line, and I would say, Your Honor, we're having a bit of an issue. And the judge would go like, what's the issue, counselor? Well, our issue is opposing counsel is continuously instructing their client, as he just admitted on the record, it's on video, are continuously instructing their client not to answer my questions, which is improper, Your Honor. And I would ask that Your Honor ask opposing counsel to stop asking their witness not to answer, number one. And number two, I am trying to explain what attorney-client privilege means. It doesn't mean documents that have been exchanged between client and lawyer in the case. Attorney-client privilege only applies to information that has been communicated between the lawyer and the client, such as defenses, private conversations about the case behind like closed doors, phone conversations, emails, text conversations. Those are all privileged. But when you are answering requests for production of documents, which is what Blair is asking about here, that is not protected by the attorney-client privilege. Why? Because it is part of the case. This is what her lawyer, Mr. Softer, was like, Amber, I need you to give me this stuff. And Amber was like, okay, here's the stuff. And then made it part of the record. Okay, fantastic. Now, Blair is asking Amber about, you remember providing documents in this case? Yes. What documents? Okay, I'll clarify. It's the one about Raquel, blah, 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 whatever. Objection, don't answer that. This is subject to attorney-client privilege. That is bullshit, and you know it, Mr. Softer.
Hey, Ms. Heard, did you ever make any attempt to produce any writings, documents, or communications between you and your parents from December 1, 2015 to today?
It's a compound question, but as to communications between you and counsel, that's privilege, including exchanging of information, that's privilege.
That is
Did you ever
true,
look for any emails
but it doesn't apply to the documents.
with you and your parents in this case?
Did I ever look for any emails?
Yes.
I don't recall. My parents don't really email too much, so I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know is your answer?
I don't know is my answer.
Okay. Did you, at any time prior to sitting here today, look for any text between you and your parents relating to this case?
Yes.
Okay. What did you do once you looked for those?
I don't know. I maybe screen grabbed them or saved them.
You maybe screen grabbed them or what?
I can't remember. I don't know.
Okay. Did you produce them here today?
I don't know what's in that stack of evidence we brought.
Did you give them to another person at any time after you looked at them and identified them?
And again, you're aware of
For
the
the
privilege.
counsel.
Is your answer for the counsel?
I'm going to take my counsel's advice, and for privilege, say I can't answer that.
Did you ever at any time prior to when you're sitting here today look for any communications or writings between you and Josh Drew?
I don't recall.
Okay. Did you prior today look for or produce any photographs or images of you taken by you?
Did I ever look for photographs of myself taken by myself ever? Have I ever looked at?
Pertaining to the allegations you made in this case.
So are you asking me if I've ever looked for pictures of myself,
Yes.
but specifically taken by myself?
To start with, yes.
I don't know. I don't remember if I've ever taken pictures of myself. Oh yes, yes.
Yes, Kyle, they could have, but I don't know how far it would get them.
Answer is yes.
Okay. What did you do with those that you
Depends on the
looked for and
picture.
identified?
There's more than one. I said I would have to know which picture it was to know what I did with it.
Okay. With any of those you identified as
Now, clearly, the reason that they're asking, that Blair is asking for photos, she wants to know whether or not Amber has documented any and all potential abuse that she may or may not have suffered at the hands of Johnny Depp, that she documented it in photo form. Clearly.
pictures relating to any claims you're making in this case.
Right there.
Did you ever give any of them to another person?
Did you ever share them?
With regard to counsel, it's communication with counsel.
Shut up!
So need to not answer questions about communication with counsel.
Jesus.
I cannot answer that question because of what he just said.
Yes, you can.
At any time
you just
prior
don't
to
want
sitting
to.
here today, did you ever make any attempt to look for photographs or images taken of you by any other person from the date of the alleged May 21, 2016 incident alleged in your declaration of May 26, 2016 through May 28, 2016?
Vague and ambiguous.
I was confused by that question because you're asking, what exactly are you asking me?
Whether you ever looked for pictures relating to this case?
To the entire case for the entirety, because you seem to be very specific about a certain couple.
Well, that was specifically about May 21.
So
Did
you're
you look for May
asking-
21 pictures?
What did you say about the 26th and through 28th? Just so I'm clear.
Well, you filed a declaration where you swore things in your declaration
Mm-hmm.
and made allegations,
Yes.
right? I'm asking you, did you look for any pictures related to the things you swore in your declaration?
Specifically from the May 21st.
Yes.
incident. Yes.
Can you tell us what you did with the pictures you looked for, if anything?
Don't talk about communications with counsel.
Then I cannot tell you because it involves counsel.
Did you produce any of the pictures related to your claims regarding May 21 for these proceedings to any other person?
Are you going to let her look at the document production?
I would just want to know what it is referring to when you say documents. I just want to make sure that they're all mine before I take responsibility for them.
Of course. But what I'm asking you is, did you produce any?
I'm going to again ask that you please put the document production in front of the witness so she can review what was produced today.
Do you not have a copy of the documents that were produced?
I've already told you I don't personally have them and the witness doesn't have them.
Okay,
And I
do
see
any
two
of the
stacks.
other attorneys
And Laura,
have them?
yeah, you do. And you have two stacks in
Yes.
front of you. You can hand one to me and keep one.
I've made notes on both of those stacks. I'm so sorry. I assumed that your 7-person
Okay, well-
team would have a set.
Then
Oh, you just done got fucking backhanded slapped across the face, Mr. Softer. Come on. The documents. 7 lawyers in the room. These are documents that you are in possession of. You provided to Johnny Depp's lawyers. They're yours. They belong to you. They're in your exclusive possession. Then you have given copies to Johnny Depp's team and said, here you go. Here are our documents. And then you show up to the deposition about the fucking documents. And you're like, can I have a copy? I don't have a copy. The witness doesn't have a copy. See, you got 2 copies. I see 2 stacks on the table. I'm sorry, honey. I have markings on both of those copies. You can't have one. Go get your own. These are your fucking documents. I swear, he's the kid who would come to class and the teacher would be like, all right, get out your workbooks. And she'd be like, the teacher would be like, Softer, where's your workbook? Be like, I left it at home, teach. Like, I'm sorry. Can I have yours? Like, and he's the one that would always get the teacher's copy because he always forgot his. That's him. I swear to God. That's embarrassing. 7 lawyers and none of them brought their own like, I had that happen in one of my trials. It was like, I asked the police officer, I was like, where's your folder, with the stuff? He's like, I didn't bring it. Well, where is it? It's at the office on my desk. Okay. It didn't exist, by the way, just for the record, but unlike here it actually exists. And he was like, yeah, I just didn't bring it. And I'm like, so on trial day, the most important day where this folder fucking matters the most, where you have these ladies and gentlemen of the jury who are going to be deciding this case today, this is the day you decided, you know what? No, I'm just not going to bring it. Embarrassing. An embarrassment to the profession of law.
she can't answer what was produced today
Okay.
because you're not going to show it to her.
I'm happy to give another copy to you guys at the lunch break.
Or I can get one from my co-counsel
Well, why
who's
don't
not
you
here.
do that?
Then let's save those
Who's not
questions
here?
for after the lunch break, Laura.
7 lawyers, and they all forgot to bring it. It's okay during the lunch break. I'm gonna phone a friend and be like, "Hey, listen, can you bring the shit that we should have had since the beginning of the day?" Okay, all right. See you after lunch. Bye. Welcome, Zigzag.
Ms. Hurd, did you ever make any attempt prior to sitting here today to look for photographs of other images of you which have been posted, uploaded, or otherwise added to any social website or blog or Facebook or Instagram or other social media outlet which have been posted since the date of the alleged May 21 incident alleged in your declaration for the proceedings today?
Compound, vague, and ambiguous.
What was the question exactly?
Look at how confident she is. She's like, I think I'm starting to get the hang of this. What was the question exactly? And by the way, she's also piggybacking off of her lawyer's vague and like little side comment, vague and ambiguous objection. I don't know. At this point, I think all of his objections, honestly, are just him table. Any of y'all ever played Spades? You know the card game Spades? What is the number one rule, chat? What is the number one rule of Spades? Can anybody tell me right here? Shout it out in the chat. What is the number one rule of the game of Spades? Because that's essentially what is happening here right now. What is the number one rule of the game of Spades that you are not permitted to do? You are under no circumstances, you are not permitted to violate this rule. Otherwise, it pisses everybody off and you might... Exactly. Do not talk across the table. No table talk. Table talk. No table talk. No talking to your partner. Table talk. No table talk. This is exactly what they're doing. They're table talking. No table talk. No, you can't talk to your partner. No talking with your partner. This is exactly what they're doing. They're talking amongst themselves through the disguised form of like a bullshit objection. You can't do that. And they're using it, and it's disgusting. Every time he says like vague, ambiguous, she's like, I don't understand. Like she piggybacks off his, yeah. And it's 2 against 1.
Have you ever looked for images which were later images you saw online in this case?
Have I ever looked for images that I have since seen online?
Relating to the allegations you've made in this case?
Vague and ambiguous as to what images you're talking about. Assumes facts, not in evidence.
Ms. Hurd, are you aware that a video was posted online last night?
I am aware of that.
Have you ever seen that video before?
I have seen that video.
Did you, in fact, take that video yourself?
I did.
Okay. When did you take that video?
I don't remember the exact date.
Okay. Was that the same video that was posted online last night?
Objection is to the term posted online last night.
Did you see that the video you took was publicized around the world last night?
If you're asking me if I'm aware that that video was posted online, yes.
Okay. And you took that video, correct?
I did.
And you took it on your cell phone, correct?
No.
What did you take it on?
iPad.
On your iPad?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you used the iPad function to record Mr. Depp, correct?
I don't know what you mean iPad function.
Oh my fucking God. Okay. They're talking, for anybody confused, I think I finally got it. It's that video where he is smashing cabinets. It's the one that TMZ released. It's that video where Johnny Depp is smashing cabinets and like pours himself what they later called a mega pint or whatever. And she kind of tried to like nonchalantly hide the fact that she's recording him, and he caught her recording him. I think that's the video that they're referring to. The cabinet video, exactly, A92. Welcome, Georgia, to the mini grills. You have access to emojis, by the way, Georgia, and who was the other one? Zigzag. Welcome, welcome.
Recording function.
Yes,
Oh.
as opposed to Are you asking me if I use like a certain app, or? Are
No,
you
I'm
asking-
just asking if you recorded him.
But I already said I did.
Okay. And you intended to record him, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And last night, that video you recorded was posted on press outlets around the world, correct?
I
Objection.
don't know where it was posted.
Okay. After you recorded that video of Mr. Depp, did it remain on your phone?
I can't get over the fact that at any moment that Blair asks Amber a question, Amber kind of like looks at her lawyer, like waits for the cue. Like, okay, I got this one. I can answer it. All right. And then sometimes he starts interrupting and she's like, no, boo. I got it. Don't worry. It's a simple question. This one doesn't hurt me. I got it. Thank you, Softer. I don't need you for this question. Yes, Blair? I mean, Ms. I actually forgot her last name.
Wait.
I mean, iPad? Excuse me, I misspoke.
It's not isolated to my iPad, but yes,
Did you send it out to other people?
it involves.
Don't answer as to counsel.
Did you send it out to any other person, not your counsel?
No.
So you only had it on your iPhone and you sent it, if you sent it anywhere, you sent it to your counsel.
iPad.
I'm sorry, iPad. You recorded it on your iPad and,
Was not isolated to my iPad.
okay. And you sent it to only your counsel, correct?
Don't answer as to communications with counsel.
Okay.
She's asked, and you've asked that, and she's answered.
I just want to be very clear, Miss.
You're asking me if I leaked
Heard.
that video, and I did not.
No, that's not what she's
I have not
asking. and
asked you.
I moved to strike.
Okay.
Listen carefully to the question.
Okay.
I'm allowed to.
Okay.
Amber fucked up. Amber fucked up. She should not have said that because, again, she's under oath. They're trying to be extremely careful how they phrase everything because pretty much every sentence is a lie. So they have to be extremely careful how they phrase things. And she's like, well, if counsel is asking me if I had leaked that video, I did not. And he's like, no, don't say that. Don't say that. And then he's like, move to strike. And all of Depp's lawyers just started laughing. Like, I would be laughing too. Like, did you just move to strike a statement at a deposition, a very incriminating statement at a deposition by your own witness? And he's like, I'm allowed to do that. Like, he's so in the wrong. It's like, it's actually starting to become hilarious. Thank you, Seaberg. Yeah, he really is, Alec. It's starting to become interesting. Because slip-ups, when you speak the truth, it's a lot easier. When you lie, it's a lot harder to keep your lies straight, make sure like every statement has to be carefully crafted and every response has to be carefully crafted. That's why there's so many objections. If she had nothing to hide, there would never be this many objections. I've never seen this many objections in a deposition. Ever. Just fucking ever.
You're moving to strike your client's own answer?
Yes.
It wasn't an answer to a question.
Ms. Heard, after you took that iPad video of Mr. Depp,
Exactly.
did you ever forward that video to any other person?
Wait, objection is to what any other person means. Are you saying, did you forward it to anyone that is not an attorney?
Well,
for
let's
her?
start there. Tell me the names of any other person other than an attorney you ever forwarded the video you took to which you were referring of Mr. Depp after you recorded him.
I can't remember. It was a long time ago. And since this has all gone down, there have been many people involved in my case, and many people seeking to whom I sought advice and help and support legally and otherwise.
Okay. So let's start with the first person. If
Hold on
there
a
are many.
second. Hold on. I'm sorry. And she just took the words out of my mouth. Thank you, Blair. If there are many, right? A second ago, we heard Amber say, I did not leak that video or whatever she said. If you're asking me if I leaked that video, the answer is no. First of all, what is leaking? What is the definition of leaking? Well, we're probably familiar with the term leaking as sending a video to a news outlet, which then disseminates it to the world, right? Because if you send it to your friend Susie or your friend Jackie or your friend Lauren, whatever, you know, they watch the video and they tell their friends, and now 25 people know about the video. If you send it to like TMZ or NBC or ABC or Fox or whatever, millions and millions and millions of people are going to see that video, especially if it's like, you know, something that involves an A-list celebrity, for instance. So a second ago, she said, I didn't leak it and I didn't share it with anyone other than counsel. Then Blair asks her a more concrete question. Well, did you share it with anyone else other than counsel? And she goes, well, there were many people involved. I think she accidentally blurted out the truth again, subconsciously. I actually sent it, in her head, I sent it to many people. I could be wrong. This is just speculative. I could be wrong. But she's basically saying like, yeah, I sent it to many people and there's so many people, I can't remember who I sent it to. And basically, I don't recall. There are so many people I sent it to. I just don't remember who all of them are. It's very possible.
Let's start with the first person you remember sending that video to.
I believe that misstates her prior testimony.
I'm telling you, it was taken a long time ago. And since I have been, since this has all gone down, it's been quite a long time. And there have been a lot of people involved, a lot of people both legally and otherwise that I have sought advice and help for, legal and otherwise. And it wasn't isolated just to my iPad. I also sync my devices, and I have many people have access to my devices, and I don't know who I sent it to.
Oh, so this is the same defense that my clients who are caught and charged with drug possession always argue. Well, it's not my car. I had other people in the car too. Like, it's not I don't know how it got there. I don't know how the drugs got there. They were in your pocket. Well, these are not my pants. These are not, I don't always wear my pants. These are not my pants. This is not my stuff. You know, other people have access to these pants. Yeah, but you told me it was in there. Well, I didn't.
Has I access to your devices?
Many people.
Ms. Hurt, of those many people, could you name them?
I couldn't name them all, no.
Could you name any of them?
I could probably name some.
Please do.
My sister has access to my iPad.
And that's Whitney Hurd?
Mhm.
Okay. Did you allow your sister to take the video you made of Mr. Depp at any time after you made it?
No.
Vague and
Did you
ambiguous was the word
allow
take.
any other person did you forward to any other person a copy of the video you took of Mr. Depp?
It's
If-
the
if
same
it-
question you asked me.
Anything that relates to counsel, you can't answer, but other than counsel.
Okay, whoa. Hold up. This took another turn. This is the same question you asked me.
All right, but first you have to unlock your device.
Sorry. Even my phone is like pissed off at all this. Hold on a second. She just said, this is the same question you asked me. So before the deposition, her lawyer, Mr. Softer, has asked Amber, have you shared this video with anyone else? Fine. Okay. That's a communication with counsel in preparation for the deposition. Now, opposing counsel, Blair, is asking the same question of Amber. Has anyone else accessed your iPad and possibly had access to the video. She's repeating what previously has been Softer's question. And you can't object to that as objection communication privilege, because you're discussing the case, but remember, opposing counsel, the plaintiff's lawyer, is trying to figure out the facts. So otherwise, think about it. Anything you want to assert as privilege before these depositions would happen, the defense lawyer would just sit down with their client and ask every question imaginable in the universe about this case, and boom, we're protected by privilege. Go home. You got nothing. Yep, we already talked about that. Can't ask that. Nope, we already talked about that too. Can't ask that. Nope, we talked about that. Can't ask that either. Yep, that's exactly the question he asked, phrased in the exact same way that you did. Nope, privilege. You see how insane that is? I'm trying to simplify it because it's actually not easy, and I think I just found it. Because of what Amber just said. Because I thought it was all in preparation for the case, just communicate. Because Blair is not asking have you spoken to your attorney about this case? That would be an improper question, because now you're actually eliciting privileged information. What did you all talk about? You can't ask that. That is an improper question, because it's eliciting privileged communications between attorney and client. However, in this case, there has been a prior communication between these two about the same topic, but that doesn't automatically attach privilege to it. I know it's getting very technical, and I hope I'm making sense, because it's actually, it even took me a long time to understand what's going on here, and I'm trying to convey it in the simplest way possible so that you all can understand, because it's not easy stuff at all. It's very complicated technical stuff, and they're playing with it like it's a game when it's not. The reality is it's a lot more direct. They're just playing games with it. I hope I'm making sense. I hope you all, by the way, yeah, don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for those of you who are just joining us. Thank you. We're going to keep this going.
Was there any other person you forwarded the video
I
to?
can't remember.
That wasn't counsel?
I can't remember.
You can't remember?
There's a lot of evidence. I've had a lot of evidence. So I can't
Oh,
remember.
look at that snarky attitude, by the way. Have you forwarded to anybody? I can't remember. This is my easy out. I can't remember. Look at it, even her body language. She's just getting very defensive. I can't remember. Lots of stuff happened. I can't remember.
So,
I can't remember.
okay, that's your testimony. I only want the truth.
Good.
Before you sat here today, did you ever, at any time in anticipation of these proceedings, look for any cell phone used by you and or registered in your name, including all numbers used by you under any family plan or similar service, and make any attempt to get your telephone statements or a printout of your telephone records containing the details of your text and phone messages?
Compound bigger.
That was a very long question. Can you please tell me what you're asking?
Yes. Did you not understand?
I did not understand that. That's why I said, can you please?
Oh, okay. So did you make any attempt at all prior to today to get your phone records for these proceedings?
I don't know. I don't recall. You mean through the telephone company? Through the
By
provider?
any means, Ms. Hurd, online, by the telephone company, your own records.
What do you mean by phone records?
Records that reflect the details of text and phone calls that you've made and received.
So are you asking me if I have gone through my own text messages?
No, I'm not asking you that. I'm asking
God.
if you ever made any attempt to get bills that reflect. Have you ever seen a telephone bill?
I have seen a physical telephone bill in my life.
And on telephone bills, you've seen where they list calls made and calls received
Mhm.
and the time and date of those calls?
Yeah.
Did you ever make any attempt to obtain those kind of billings for this case?
I don't remember. I don't know. I can't remember doing that.
Is your answer you can't remember doing that?
Yeah, I don't remember that. I don't know.
Okay. At any time
Gaslighting,
prior to
clearly.
sitting here today,
It's so disgusting just to see the evasiveness of her demeanor. I mean, it's like it's so clear that the answer is like right there. It's in her head. She just doesn't want to share it, and she realized, wait a minute, all I have to do is say I don't recall, I don't remember, and I'm off the hook. So just keep peppering that in and you'll be fine. She learned from police officers. This is what police officers do on the stand all the time. Anything that hurts your client, oh yeah, boom, 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 boom. Everything that helps your client, oh, I don't recall. I don't remember that. Slurred speech, oh yeah, there was slurred speech. Bloodshot eyes, absolutely, bloodshot eyes. Staggered gait, yeah, absolutely. Clues on the field sobriety, absolutely. They had no problems getting out of the truck. I don't recall. They had no problems standing. I believe so, but I don't remember. It was so long ago. They had no problems answering your question. I don't remember. They said so-and-so, such and such. I don't remember. I don't recall. I swear, it's literally like taking a page out of the Kentucky State Police Troopers manual when it comes to testifying. Welcome, Dr. Gia, and welcome, Corey Simon, to the mini grills. Oh, man. Actually, Dr. Gia is a holy grail. Welcome.
did you ever review your computers, cell phones, or any digital device
Yep.
to
Exactly, Joe.
look for any and all emails
That would
or
be epic.
text messages that you would have relating to any of the claims in your case?
Just so I'm clear, are you asking me if I looked from emails?
Well, let's start with emails.
Pertain-
pertaining to this case.
Have I ever looked through my own emails pertaining to this case?
Yes.
For email
Yes.
pertaining? Perhaps, yes.
Okay. And did you ever gather those?
You can't even get a single straight answer from this woman. I swear. Perhaps, yes. Like, it's almost as if she went to law school, too. It's like, hard maybe. Ms. Heard, have you blah, 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 question mark? It's possible. Perhaps. I may or may not have. It depends. Dubious question, counselor, but I'll reserve judgment. I don't recall. I don't remember. I don't know. So much has happened. I've lied so much, I can't keep my lies straight, so you're going to have to ask the next question, please.
Any time and give them to another person?
Don't answer us to counsel.
I don't remember.
It's compound. Did you gather them as the first, and then
Okay.
did you give them as the second?
Did you gather them up?
No.
No,
Not that
you
I
never
remember.
did.
Not that I remember.
Okay.
That extra frown at the end there.
Okay. So back to your contacting Mr. Depp. At some point, did you believe a restraining order had been obtained? Did you seek a restraining order in this case?
Yes, I did.
Did you ask for the court to issue a restraining order?
I did.
And when did you do that?
I believe it was on the 27th.
And that's a restraining order against Mr.
Why
Depp?
is she looking at her lawyer when answering the question of when she took out the restraining order on Johnny Depp? Hello? Is anyone watching this? What the fuck? Let's keep watching. This is going to be very interesting.
Depp?
What?
The one you wanted to get?
Yes.
Yes. And why did you do that?
Because I lived in a house. Because I lived in a house he owned, had keys to, his security had keys to, and despite my repeated requests that they protect me when Johnny was using and in these episodes or in these states, despite the repeated requests I made from them to help me protect my property, especially, and me, and despite their repeated warnings that we were going to kill each other, as they like to put it, that they were not very helpful when it came to protecting me. As I have in our evidence, them on audio saying that I didn't matter. JD was important here. And because of that lack of security, and because I lived in his home, and because his behavior had become increasingly erratic and unpredictable and scary, I had no other way than to protect myself and feel more protected and feel like I had autonomy over my space, where he couldn't just come in the middle of the night on one of his benders and try to get in the house, or decide he wanted to have another talk about one of his delusions, or to fight it out or whatever.
Okay, time out. Time out. I have questions. Question number one. It's more of an observation first, okay? All right. I have questioned people on the stand. I am familiar with the types of answers people can give. There are two types of answers that a person can give: a specific answer or a generic answer. One encompasses a specific instance that they have gone through. That's when they are usually telling the truth. They tell you a story, like I was on the couch, Johnny walked in and he broke a glass over my head and it really hurt and I was rushed to the hospital. There were clumps of hair on the floor, blah, 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 like telling a story with intricate, specific details, which she actually tried very hard on the stand to do and couldn't put 2 cents together, which told the whole world that she was lying. Or you can do what Amber is doing right here, and that is give a generic catch-all overall answer of, well, there are these instances of when these things happen, and when they happen, and now it's back on me. Like, I am unsafe. The security will not protect me, and me. That's a telltale sign indicator of someone who's not telling you the truth. Why? Because she is speaking in general terms. She's talking about an overall demeanor of Johnny Depp. Usually people will hone in on something very, very specific. And they'll be like, okay, let me tell you a story of what happened on sometime in May or June. I don't remember exactly when. And they'll go into detail and they'll bring you with them. Right? They'll bring you with them. You will feel like you are in the room with them. That is the telltale. Like when I was telling the story of Curious George, if you all remember, if you haven't seen it, by all means, after this or later, it's on my channel. When I describe something, I take you back with me. Why? Because it's in my head. I'm envisioning it, right? I'm creating it. It's in my imagination. It could also have been in reality, like when I am telling you a story from my past, like my high school class. I take you back with me to that class. Why? Because I was there. Because I have a memory of it. When you don't have a memory of something and you have to abstractly create it, if you try to tell the story, it's going to feel very disjointed and very jagged and very all over the place, very non-concrete, non-stable. Or you can just speak in generic terms. Well, generally speaking, Johnny is the blah, blah, blah. Johnny is such and such. Johnny has these characteristics sometimes. And now you're just like, well, why should I believe you? Right? John Bassinger says, like she said, she got the TRO to keep property. I thought it was because he was abusive. I guess it morphed into that later. Yeah, right now, That's a phenomenal observation, John. I almost missed that. I mean, I heard it, but it didn't process until you just said that. She was worried about him breaking her shit. He would walk in the middle of the night on his bender and break her stuff. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first. She was worried about her stuff, her property, that he would break it. She doesn't want her toys broken. Okay, that's fine. But that's not to say someone is being abusive. And thank you, Sharon. Like, that is a leap. She was chasing clout. She was riding the coattails of the Me Too movement. We already know that. We already know all of that.
And were you successful in your efforts to obtain that a restraining order?
I was.
Okay. When did you obtain that restraining order, if you know?
Are you asking me the date again?
Calls for legal conclusion.
When were you aware?
No,
first
that's
that
just
you
the
had
timeline.
obtained a restraining order?
When I was told it was successfully obtained by my lawyer.
Was
Wait.
that May 27th?
I'm just going to instruct you, you can't talk about communications with your lawyer. So
Okay.
I'm going to do a claw back because I think it was inadvertent.
Okay.
Ms. Hurd, did you go to court on
He
May
sure is
27th,
touching her a lot.
2016?
Again, we already talked about that. He's touching her way too much, and she is way too comfortable with it. It's very unnerving.
Okay.
Ms. Hurd, did you go to court on May 27th, 2016?
I believe that was the date.
Did you understand you were going to court to get a restraining order?
Yeah.
Did you leave court believing you'd gotten a restraining order?
Yeah.
Okay. So it would be truthful to say that on May 27th, you believed you had obtained this restraining order against Johnny Depp, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did you understand, and let's strike that. Did you feel once you had obtained that restraining order that it would prohibit any contact between you and Johnny Depp?
I'm going to object because your understanding, if they came from counsel, you can't answer. If you have an independent knowledge, then that would be different.
And my independent knowledge would be that of what I assumed a restraining order was, which was that he had to stay away from me and couldn't just come home in the middle of the night and decide he wanted to fight about something.
And he couldn't.
Or I could call the cops and they would come fast and they would know it was serious.
And you continued to be petrified of him, correct?
I was terrified of the monster.
Okay.
I was terrified of the part of Johnny that I could not control or predict and that was getting worse and worse.
Okay.
If you need a break, we can take a break, okay?
I'm okay.
Okay. So
Thank you, Bill.
Okay.
Is clawback a legal term, Zigzag? I actually had to look it up because I have no idea. It's according to the Oxford Dictionary, it means to recover money disbursed in the form of an allowance or benefit, typically by taxation.
Okay. And you believed at the time you obtained this restraining order that the law, the court was ordering that Johnny Depp not have any contact with you, correct?
Now,
Thank you, Corey, for the gifted subs. I just caught that. Thank you, Corey.
be careful of communications with counsel. I don't want you to disclose any understandings that you receive from counsel. If it's separate and apart from that, then I will allow it.
Could you repeat your question, please?
Yes. You believed when you obtained this restraining order that under no circumstances could there be, or did you want there to be, any physical contact between you and Johnny Depp, correct?
It was my understanding, independent of counsel or any,
Right.
you know, it was my vague understanding that my contact with him would be limited. I was unclear as to what extent. There were a lot of things going on and a lot of.
Okay, all right, hold up. Do you not understand, Amber, what it means to try and take a DVRO on someone? Okay, first of all, why would you go to court and ask for a DVRO? Normally, you don't really consult lawyers on that. The DVRO is a Domestic Violence Restraining Order, which the court did not grant. The court only granted a TRO, which is a temporary restraining order, because there were not enough facts or evidence to support a DVRO. Okay, remember that. This is the underlying theme of this whole thing. This is the deposition that she was ordered to do by the court, that Johnny would not sign off on dismissing the DVRO until she, her lies are recorded under oath. You go to court asking for a DVRO and you don't even understand what it means and what its purpose is and what it does. Like, that's obscene. That's actually quite obscene. Her effect, says Nicole, is angry more than scared. Even when she's talking about being scared, it makes her look vindictive. This was obvious even in Depp v. Heard in the trial, I imagine. Yeah. So you go to court and you're like, Your Honor, I would like a domestic violence restraining order. What for? I don't know. What does it mean? I don't know. What does it do? I don't know. Why do you want it? I don't know. Huh?
Other pressures. And I thought I would be more protected with regards to the law.
There we go.
I thought I would be safer in my own home and be able to change the locks legally
To the
so
best.
that I could have some safety.
Okay. And to the best of your knowledge, when you went to court and obtained that restraining order on May 27th, where did you believe Johnny was that day?
I don't know.
To the best of your knowledge.
I
Calls for
have no idea.
speculation.
Did you have any idea?
I don't remember knowing where he was.
Okay. And after you obtained that restraining order on May 27th, did you even, to the best of your knowledge, again, did you have any awareness of whether Johnny Depp was even in Los Angeles?
I don't remember. I knew he was traveling around that time. But I don't know. I don't remember knowing where he was.
Do you know somebody named Christian Carino?
I do.
Okay. Is he your friend?
Yeah, he is my friend.
Is he also your commercial agent?
Yeah, he is.
Okay. Did you speak with Christian Carino on July 15th and ask him to get in touch with Johnny so you could go see him in San Francisco?
On July 15th?
Yes.
What is your question? Whether I contacted Christian, or what's your question? Sorry.
Do you need me to
Welcome,
repeat it?
Macy. Thank you, Sharon.
What is your question, please?
Okay. Did you contact Christian Carino on July 15th and ask him to contact Johnny so you could go see him in San Francisco? That would be Johnny Depp in San Francisco.
I don't know who initiated the contact, and I don't know at what point in that communication with Christian. I don't know at what point that was. So if you're asking me if Christian and I text on July 15th, yes, we probably did. We were supposed to have some sort of
It's my Metallica
discussion
shirt.
about mediation, and
Can't really talk about mediation.
Okay.
Were you aware you had a temporary restriction?
Those of you who have not seen my shirt yet, this is the rest of it. It's a Metallica shirt. Love Metallica. Love me some Metallica.
Restraining order that you've gotten issued against Johnny Depp when you requested to see him?
Yes.
And were you petrified of Johnny Depp at the time you contacted Christian Carino to try to see him?
I was told that he was sober and in a sober state, and so it was my fears were mitigated against the idea that he had maybe had some time to get sober and clean, and that generally means his behavior is safer and better, and that I would not be alone and I would be protected.
So
Hold on. John brings up another question. Her own home, she wanted to keep Johnny Depp's property as in the penthouses and the TRO, an effort to use the legal system to keep his property, he says. When she says property, she claims his as well. So she wanted protection on her own property. Interesting fact. Will the appeals court see this? Somebody should. Liz, parts of the depo have been made as part of the record. Not the entire deposition, because it's not, I mean, it may have been added as an exhibit, but here's the problem. In appeals cases, there's usually thousands of pages and thousands of hours of stuff. So the Court of Appeals judges are very selective into what they watch. And they will choose to watch and read and see what they think is necessary. Will they have access to this? Probably. I'm sure it's an exhibit as part of the appeal when the plaintiff submits their brief along with all their exhibits. Will the Court of Appeals judges specifically review this entire deposition? I can tell you with the utmost certainty that they will not, because it's just way too much stuff. Way too much stuff. And it's, at the end of the day, unnecessary and irrelevant because, again, I imagine her, because don't forget, the appellant, right? The appellant, which is Amber Heard, she's the one appealing this. She has the burden to argue whatever points she is trying to appeal and win on, right? So she lost. She's the appellant. Johnny Depp is the appellee. Those are legal terms. The appellant, Amber Heard, will argue points, A, B, C, D. We know it's going to involve the First Amendment. It's probably going to involve matters of opinion. It's probably going to invoke some sort of truth as an absolute defense to defamation, opinion as a defense to defamation, First Amendment grounds as a defense to defamation, and so on and so forth. This is not necessary or relevant for those arguments, so the Court of Appeals judges probably will never see any of it, although it will probably be made part of the record. Great question, by the way, Liz. Thank you.
Just 1 second. I have a privileged question.
Oh, they're
let
good.
the record reflect that
Yes,
Mr.
it's
Carter is
okay.
whispering in his client's ear.
Well, no, I had to ask her a question because this pertained to mediation, so I have to.
Oh my God. You can't do that. Again, first of all, why are they so comfortable around each other, getting so fucking close? I don't understand. This looks and reeks of impropriety, number one. Number two, I don't understand what the hell her lawyer is thinking. He is violating procedure openly on video in a recorded deposition where she's supposed to give sworn statements. He basically is potentially counseling her literally in a recorded deposition. It's called coaching the witness. And that is not allowed. You can't do that. And you can't prove or disprove that he was or was not because he whispered.
To make a mediation privilege objection. So
Would you like to make that objection?
I just did. I'm objecting to this line of questioning because it's mediation privilege. Do you want to go off the record? and we
No,
can
I
talk
just
about
want to be
this?
clear so that I understand whether you're saying that Ms. Heard's communications with Christian Carino, you are claiming are privileged under the mediation privilege.
With respect to a meeting with, or potential meeting with Johnny Depp, it's mediation privilege. Well, you disagree, but
I'm
mean,
not saying anything, Mr. Hart.
I know we could go off the record. We could discuss because you guys were at the mediation and the mediator was saying certain things, which I don't want to say on the record, but
I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Harder, but I'm going to continue questioning
Okay.
Ms. Hurd. Did you ask Christian Carino on July 15th to tell Johnny Depp that you loved him?
I don't know. I don't remember. But I love Johnny.
You love him. That's very sus. That's very sus. How can you love someone that is allegedly abusing you? And she said that same thing at the trial, or has abused you, right? Do you love him because of the clout he provides you with? And the roles he has given you? Oh, I'm sorry. You got those roles on your own terms. I forgot. Oopsies. Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. Do you love his money? Oh, no, I'm sorry. You made your own money. You don't need his money because you donated all the money that he has given you from the divorce. Oh, wait. No, you didn't. Never mind. You do love his money.
Did you text Christian Carino and ask him if he thought he could convince Johnny to speak with you on the night of July 19th?
I don't remember specifically because I don't have those text messages in front of me.
Where are
So
those text messages?
I don't know.
Have you kept them?
it assumes facts, not in evidence.
I just don't have them in front of me.
Thank you, Corey.
I don't remember. Do you remember
For the
which
gifted
text message
subs.
you send to everybody and when you send it?
Do you ever remember asking Christian Carino to tell Johnny you loved him in August, in any time during this month of
I don't have a
2016?
specific-
Now, hold on. There is another layer to it. I don't want to just leave it at that. There is another layer to it. There is something known as like battered wife syndrome or Stockholm syndrome, where the abuser or the abused begins to like love their abuser, and they become trapped in this cycle of, yeah, he hits me because he loves me kind of thing. But usually there is extraordinary, immense evidence of abuse at that point. I have never seen a battered wife syndrome case where the woman is not either ends up dead, or if she's still alive, she has bruises and marks all over her body constantly, because that's what it is. It doesn't stop. She just begins to accept it. This is part of our relationship. He only hits me because he loves me. That's what that is. So it's impossible for that to be in existence, because then Amber would have evidence of all of that, but it doesn't exist. It never happened. She has no photos of bruises. She has fake photos that she has generated. Yes, we've seen those at the trial, but she has nothing of substance. She has nothing real. So I'm sorry, I didn't want to leave that out, because that's important, because you can have, absolutely, you can love your abuser. That is a thing, but it's clearly not the thing here, because there would be evidence of that to that effect. You can't sit on both stools. You can't be like, yes, I'm abused, and yes, I love my abuser, and I am a battered wife, but I'm not because I don't have bruises, but I just don't have bruises. Like, you can't have everything. You got to show evidence of something. You can't just be like, oh, it's my word, just trust me. Like Vogue UK, believe all women. Do you remember that article? I want to pull it up real quick. That was terrifying. It was in the middle of trial. I remember that. No, that's YouTube. Let me see if I can. There it is. This is the terrifying article. We're just going to shift gears for just a second. I promise I'll come back to it. I just want to show you guys. This is the article I read when I was in Virginia. And I was like, there's no way, right? There's no way. And yes way. They wrote it by Raven Smith, May 17th. This is the first day I was at the trial, I believe. We're not going to read the whole article. Just at the very, very end, there it is. Though I felt myself veering towards it. Can you all see that? Let me make it bigger. Here we go. This paragraph, this is the last paragraph of the Vogue article. I'm going to post it in the chat so you all can read it on your own terms now, later, whatever you guys want to do. So you have access to it. All right, this is the article. Vogue wrote, what's her name again? Raven Smith. Just that name alone makes like shivers go up and down my spine. Ms. Smith writes, though I felt myself veering toward it, I can no longer both sides this, talking about the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. It's time to draw a line. Now, what is this line? You would think like, oh, listen to the truth, right? Listen to the evidence. It's time to draw a line. All right, this is all like, it reeks, the whole article reeks of the Me Too power and the powerlessness that Me Too was feeling as Amber Heard drug it through the mud and eviscerated pretty much everything Me Too stood for. It's time, this is the line, to believe women. All women. What? What? What does that mean? What it means is stop listening to the evidence. Stop listening to the facts. Stop listening to testimony. Stop looking at photos. Stop watching videos. If a woman comes out and says she has been abused, it must be believed at face value. Ignore everything else and just trust her. Have you all ever heard of anything more fascist than that statement ever in your life? This is what they would do to Jews in Nazi Germany. Oh yeah, my neighbor over there in the next door building is a Jew. You guys can go and round them up, send him to the ghetto, and they will get round up and sent to the ghetto. It doesn't matter if they're Jewish or not. That's fascism. That's Nazism. This is modern day Nazism. This is modern day fascism. There's a reason why people call them feminazis. It's because of statements like this. It's time to believe. It's time to believe her. This is, by the way, after 2.5 days of direct and a full day of cross-examination, I believe. Let me refresh my memory. May 17th was, yeah, it was Tuesday. Do we have a time when it was written? We don't have a time. But I imagine that's when, this is after the cross-examination was over and redirect was over. And this is where, remember, this is British Vogue, I believe. Or Vogue is British. I don't know. I don't fucking care. They're dead to me after this article. The British courts believed Depp beat his ex-wife. Again, different system, a corrupt system, not the system here in the United States. There we go. Zigzag is like, I am a woman who will tell you not to believe all women. Right, because women lie. They're human beings. Men too. This is actually this trial. This is what sparked the hashtag Men Too movement. Exactly, Tifstar. The British courts believed Depp beat his ex-wife. So the evidence that they had, by the way, the rules of evidence are completely different in the UK. This is also important, right? This is also important. Why? Because she's this Raven Smith girl working for Vogue is like, look, stop reading and listening to facts. Just believe conjecture and believe what happened here. Like, they're undoing what already happened, and I don't like it. It's ruining my day. It's killing my Me Too stuff. Well, it's shedding light on reality. I don't like reality. I want to live in my own little bubble. Okay, you're welcome to, but don't try to drag everybody else into it. Okay? What's stopping the rest of us? Oh, I don't know. Logic, common sense, eyes, ears, brains. That's what's stopping the rest of us. The ones who still have faith in humanity. All right, back to the TRO. Oops, sorry, that's my commentary stuff. Or the YouTube video, I mean. Here we go.
I took memory of that, but I'm sure I did. No, it doesn't. I don't know. I don't have a specific.
Don't guess.
Oh, okay. I don't have a specific
Yeah.
memory of that.
Did you text Christian Carino on or around July 19th, 2016, and ask Christian if he thought you, Amber, would be able to physically see Johnny that night?
I'm going to object on the mediation privilege grounds, and we can talk about this at a break.
Are you going to answer my
We're
question?
just trying to mediate, and so I feel
Well,
like
don't answer because it's,
okay.
we'll have to talk at a break with counsel.
Did Christian Carino ever talk up to you about Johnny Depp saying he could not meet with you in July of August of 2016 because there was a restraining order in place?
Again, we're going to have to put a pin in that because of the mediation privilege issue, and we can discuss it at a break.
Just to be clear, Mr. Harder, were you present during any mediations in this case?
Yes, I was, and so were you, and so were several people in this room.
On what dates?
It's not my deposition, and I don't have my calendar in front of me. There was an ongoing mediation process that went on for a long time, as you know, Blair.
Ms. Hurd, were you present during any mediation sessions in this case?
Don't answer mediation privilege.
There's no such thing.
Are you going to
Well,
answer?
kind of, sort of, but
You just instructed her not to answer.
You can say if you were at a mediation session or spoke to a mediator.
Yes.
On how many occasions?
I don't recall. Maybe 2. I can't. As to not guess, I have to say. I can't remember how many there were.
Did you ever attend a mediation session at these offices before?
It calls for legal conclusion. It's vague as to what a mediation session is.
How about mediation, the word we used before when she said she had?
Well, I mean, here's the thing, Blair. There was a mediator, I think, at this office, or was it Patty's office? I can't remember. It was one of these offices in Century City, and there was a mediator. And there were several sessions, and there was a mediator at my office, and you were there, Blair. So there were. Let's talk off the record about this, because I don't want to divulge anything that's mediation privilege.
Ms. Depp, did you ever attend a mediation with Johnny Depp in this case and other lawyers?
Yes.
why are you so hesitant?
Who were the lawyers there when you attended this mediation?
Just yes or no?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know all the lawyers. I don't even know. I don't know most of the people in this room.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
I
you.
don't know half the people in this room.
And did you ever attend a mediation with someone named Christian Carino at the mediation?
I know that with regards to my understanding of mediation and what mediation is, Christian Carino was present and involved in trying to mediate between us.
At any point, did you ask to see Johnny Depp and strike that. At any point in time, Ms. Hurd, did you ask Christian Carino to set up a meeting between you and Mr. Depp? And did Mr. Carino tell you that was not possible because papers had to be in place?
Mediation privilege, and I'm going to instruct you not to answer, and we can talk about this at a break.
Okay.
On Thursday, July 21, 2016, were you in Los Angeles?
I don't know.
Do you have any ability to figure that out? Do you have a calendar or anything?
No, not with me. I don't have my phone on me. What could you remind me of what that date was so I can know?
It was July 21, 2016, a Thursday.
I have no idea where I was on that day.
Okay.
Can you give me some sort of background? Maybe I can answer the question better. Because I
was
really don't
asking
know.
you where you were.
Asked and answered.
I feel like I answered that.
Okay. In July,
Piggybacking.
anytime in the month of July 2016, did you board a plane and fly to San Francisco, California?
At any time in July?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. And did you do that to see Johnny Depp?
Mediation privilege, and I instruct you not to answer, and we can deal with this at a break. Don't answer.
Are you answering my question, Ms. Hurd?
I am taking his advice.
Ms. Hurd, in July of 2016, were you aware that your husband, Johnny Depp, was on tour with his band, The Vampires?
I don't think that's the name of the band.
Are you asking me, did I know if Johnny Depp went on tour with the Hollywood Vampires?
Yes.
Yes, I do know that he went on tour with the Hollywood Vampires.
In July of 2016, did you believe he was on tour at that time during that month?
I believe so. I believe I knew that he was on tour more or less around the time of July with his band, the Hollywood Vampires.
And at some point, did you believe that Johnny Depp, while performing on his tour, was going to be in San Francisco?
Christian told me that he was going to be there, I believe.
And is it true that you got on an airplane and flew to San Francisco intending to see Johnny Depp?
Don't answer. Mediation privilege. We can take this up at a break.
Isn't it true, Ms. Hurd, that you flew to San Francisco on July 21 to attempt to see Johnny Depp?
Again, mediation privilege. I instruct you not to answer, and counsel can discuss this.
It's not a trial, okay? You mentioned it. We got it. It's the record is protected. Every time you say mediation privilege, my skin crawls, softy. Come on, man. You know that she's allowed to answer, even if it's not admissible in court. You can't keep telling your witness not to answer. You're depriving the record of testimonial evidence by a sworn witness. God.
At a break.
Did you fly to San Francisco on July 21?
I don't remember what date I flew there.
Did you fly to San Francisco in the month of July?
Yes.
Okay. Did Christian Carino, on or around July 21, tell you that Johnny's lawyers had said that you could not meet with Johnny until you dissolved the TRO?
I don't know. He told me that. I don't remember everything he said to me.
Did he ever tell you anything like that?
I don't recall.
After getting off the plane in San Francisco, did you go to a house arranged for by Christian Carino?
No, Rose.
I'm going to instruct mediation privilege. We can take this up at a break.
On July 21 or July 22, 2016, did you go to the hotel that you were informed Johnny Depp was staying at in San Francisco, the Omni Hotel?
Instruct you not to answer because of mediation privilege, and counsel can discuss this at a break.
Thanks, Jen.
On July 21 or July 22, did you go to the Omni Hotel?
Mediation privilege, instruct you not to answer. Counsel can take this up at a break.
Ms. Hurd, I see you shaking your head back and forth. Was that no?
Don't shake your head, please. And
Yeah, I didn't mean to move my head.
Okay, so you were
Sorry.
not answering in the negative that you did not go to the
I
Omni
cannot
Hotel.
answer.
She wasn't answering.
she's not answering because of privilege, because I've instructed her.
Hey, Liberty Cause, what's up, brother? We got all three. So we now only have 3 moderators on this channel. I decided to limit who has access to what. So just a heads up, you guys, Liberty Cause, Rose Tide Roll, and Gen B are the only 3 moderators that our channel currently has. So please follow the rules, follow what they have to say, and everything will be fine.
You have a cell phone. Did you have a cell phone that you were using on August 9th, 2016?
Yes,
Okay.
I have a cell phone. Yeah.
Okay. What was the cell number you utilized to make calls on August 9, 2016?
I don't know.
Do you recognize?
And also, let me take this moment. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel. As Morgan Tremaine said it best, if you like the content, like the video and subscribe. If you hate the content, like the video and subscribe. Nothing's stopping you. I love Morgan.
Recognize a cell number?
Oh, phone number.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
And who does that number belong to?
That's a number that belongs to me.
Okay. Did you use your cell phone for to call Johnny Depp 3 different times on August 9, 2016?
I'm going to object mediation privilege, and we can all discuss this at a break.
Are you answering my question, Ms.
No, I'm taking his advice.
The next day, August 10, 2016, did you call Johnny Depp using that same cell phone twice?
Again, mediation privilege, and I'm going to instruct you, and the counsel can take it up at a break.
Ms. Hurd, on August 11th, did you have 4 different telephone conversations where you called Johnny Depp?
Mediation privilege, I'm going to instruct you, and we can take it up at a break.
Did you speak with Johnny Depp on August 11th by telephone at 5:52 p.m.?
Mediation privilege, I'm going to instruct you, and we can take it up at a break with counsel.
Between 5:52 and 6:07 on August 11, 2004, did you participate in a 15-minute phone call
Exactly,
between
Ghost
you
Rider.
and Johnny Depp?
I'm going to instruct you on mediation privilege.
This is just
counsel can take it up at a break.
disgusting. This is just atrocious.
After 6:07 on August 11, 2016, did you repeatedly make efforts to call Johnny Depp?
Again, I'm going to instruct you on mediation privilege, and we can take this up at a break.
Did you place a call to Johnny Depp first at 3:51 on August 11th?
Same instruction, same objection. We can take it up at a break.
Did you next place a call intending to call Johnny Depp at 8:54?
Same instruction, same objection. We can take it up at a break.
Did you-
You don't have to get louder either. We can.
Did you
You'd be getting louder and louder progressively. You don't have to.
Oh, well, for fuck's sake,
did you
stalker.
next make a third call at 10:03 that night to Johnny Depp?
Mediation privilege, same instruction. We can discuss it at a break.
He's
After
basically
the 10:03 phone call,
Blair is trying to elicit testimony from Amber that really hurts her case, whatever it may be, something to do with something. Okay, let's just leave it at that. Softer knows it hurts the case, and he's invoking a fake privilege that doesn't exist to try and, well, not try, succeed, excuse me. And he succeeds in getting his witness to not answer. It's basically the same thing as going, yeah, do not answer that question. You can't do that. That is not permitted in the law.
Did you next try to call Johnny Depp at 10:10?
Same objection and instruction.
After the 10:10 phone call
Exactly,
on August
HB
11,
Nana.
2016, did you then place a fifth phone call at 10:30?
And by the way, the reason that Blair keeps going unabated, even though she's getting objected to, you would think, like, why wouldn't she just give up? Why does she keep on asking the same stuff over and over and over in the same line of questioning? She's protecting the record. She wants to show the judge that you have an unruly lawyer, hopefully at some point have a subsequent deposition where all these questions are going to be re-asked. And if she doesn't ask them all, well, then they will be preserved for later on.
37 to Johnny Depp.
Same objection, same instruction.
See?
On August 11, 2016,
She truly is,
Ms. Heard,
Alexis.
did you, in any form of communication, ask Johnny to call you?
Same instruction, same objection.
And the reason it hurts them and hurts their case is because any of those answers, if true, would be a direct violation of the TRO by Amber. So look at it this way. She goes to court. She says, I'm being abused. I'm being abused. Judge, please issue a piece of paper that says Johnny can't contact me. Judge says, okay, he cannot contact you. Neither can you contact him. Off you go. That's the TRO, right? And as soon as she leaves, she's like, hey, Johnny. Hey, Johnny. Hey, Johnny. Hey, Johnny. Johnny. Hey, Johnny. Johnny. Well, he won't listen. Hey, can you go ask Johnny to, can you go tell Johnny that, hey, can you call Johnny and can you message Johnny? And every single one of those is a TRO violation. Every single last one is a violation of a lawful judicial order that she asked for herself. That's what makes it even worse. That's what makes it the penultimate violation. She goes to court, asks for it, judge grants it, and then she's like, fuck it, and violates it herself. That's what makes it look even worse than it is. That's why they're avoiding this line of questioning. And look at Amber. Poor Amber. She's like, when do I get to go home? I have MDMA to do tonight. I'm bored. This legal stuff. See, I thought Me Too stuff was supposed to be easy. You claim abuse and then everybody roots for you and then you win. Why are they like asking me stuff? This is not supposed to be happening. I was supposed to like win by a landslide and everybody supports me and then I would have a standing ovation and then this is very upsetting. Why do I have to prove myself? They should vogue it. Just believe me at my word and call it a day. This sucks. I want to go party. I wish Pistol and Boo, says Tabby, had lived long enough to file a defamation suit against Mommy Dearest, who almost got them euthanized. Okay. Same, HB Nana.
Ms. Heard, I'm showing you a picture that will be marked respondent's eye. Do you recognize that picture?
Yes.
Okay. And showing you a second picture that'll be marked as respondent's J. Do you recognize that picture?
Yes. It's the same picture or same thing.
Am I correct that respondent's J is a close-up shot or a closer shot of the same photograph of respondent's eye?
It calls for speculation.
If you know.
You're asking me if it's, what's the question
The
exactly?
same
It's the
photograph,
same-
one's from a closer
Yeah, it looks like
perspective.
it looks like that to me.
Have you ever seen that photograph before?
Johnny told me about it and then sent it to me about like May, when we started speaking again in May. About a month, we didn't speak for almost a month, and that's when he sent me that picture.
And how did he send you that copy?
Text message, I believe.
Okay. Drawing your attention to respondent's eye. In here. Are you looking at that picture?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see a bed in that picture?
Oh,
Do you-
oh, that's the bed. The bed. Yes.
Recognize that bed.
Yes.
Whose bed is that?
That is the bed that Johnny and I sleep in.
Okay. And is that a bed you and Johnny sleep in at Penthouse 3 at the Broadway residence?
Only when he stays there.
Okay.
And I only defecate when he stays there, for the record.
You say you saw that picture for the first time as of
In May.
sometime in May.
I remember when he sent that picture to me because I was on the way to the airport and I hadn't spoken to him in several weeks, almost a month.
Okay. When did you have a specific memory of that?
Yes.
Okay. When was that in May?
I echo Jen's sentiments.
Was the day I was leaving for Italy. I don't know that date off the top of my head, but I remember it was significant to me because Johnny and I had not been speaking
Okay.
for about a month prior.
Okay. When you say you had not been speaking to Johnny for a month prior, does that mean he had not slept in the same bed with you for a month?
Yeah, we had not seen each other in several weeks, almost a month.
Okay. When was the last time prior to when you were sent this photograph that you had seen Johnny Depp?
Did you see that smirk? Holy hell. Look at her face. I'm going to slow it down for you guys. Holy hell. I'm going to mute it and just watch her face as she's remembering it. Look. Look at that smirk. Watch it again. Look at that level of confidence and smugness. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, it's our little, you can lie all you want, but it's the little micro gestures, the little micro expressions that give us away. And that right there, I mean, to me, tells me everything. That right there says it all. She keeps doing it. Yeah, she keeps doing it. It's very possible. She's like, yep, bitch, I did it. What are you going to do about it? All right, let's get back to normal speed and turn back the volume.
Photograph that you had seen Johnny Depp.
April, last time I saw him was April 21st into the morning of April 22nd.
Okay. On the morning of April 22nd, when you last saw him, did you see him leave Penthouse 3?
I did not see him leave. I saw him right before he left, and then he left me a note. He stormed downstairs, and I heard the door slam, and I started to walk downstairs, and then I heard it open again. I went back upstairs, thinking he was coming back in, and then it slammed again, and then I went downstairs an hour or two later. Because it sounded as though he had indeed left, and I saw a note saying, happy fucking birthday.
And what time was that you confirmed that he'd left?
Very early morning hours of April 22nd, my 30th birthday.
When you say early morning hours, would that be before or after, say, 4 o'clock in the morning?
I don't know.
Would it be before or after, say, 6 o'clock in the morning?
I can't recall.
Okay. After you believed he had left, did you go to sleep in that bed at some point?
Yes.
Okay. And was anyone else sleeping with you in that bed when you went to sleep?
No human was sleeping with me.
No human was sleeping with you. Okay.
I like how she made that a point.
The dogs sleep with me.
Okay. So no other human was sleeping with you in that bed. Prior to getting out of that bed, was any other person in that bed with you?
Yes.
Who is that person?
Raquel Pennington.
When did she enter your bed?
When she woke me up.
And what time was that?
I don't recall.
Okay. At the time she woke you up,
Oh, please don't tell me she's about to blame the poop on Raquel.
is it true to say that you hadn't left that bed?
I might have left the bed.
Where did you go?
I don't remember if I got up to use the restroom and or brush my teeth, but I don't know.
Okay. Is it true to say that if you had left your bed during that time, it would have been a brief leaving of the bed and you returned to the bed?
Yes.
Okay. And you do or don't remember when Raquel Pennington got into bed with you?
It was in the morning.
Okay. And how long were you and Raquel in the bed together?
Not very long, just long enough for her to wake me up and show me a birthday video she'd made for me.
Okay. Were you still in your sleep clothes in bed when that occurred?
Yes.
Okay. Showing you what has been marked as J, respondents J. When you woke up that morning, was feces, well, tell me what you think that picture shows. Does that,
It looks like dog poop.
okay, is that feces?
Looks like dog feces.
Excrement, correct?
Asked and answered twice now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
What
I've
makes
answered
you,
the
what
question.
makes you believe that feces is
Whoa, whoa,
dog
whoa, whoa, whoa,
feces?
whoa, 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 whoa. Look at her body language. Again, pay attention to that body language.
Excrement, correct?
Asked and answered twice now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
What
I've
makes
answered
you,
the question.
what makes you believe that feces is dog feces?
Because there's no other plausible explanation, and because Boo, my dog, or Johnny and I's dog, uses the bathroom quite frequently in the bed and has done so on Johnny's person more than once. In fact, my mom sent me a text message just yesterday.
Okay, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, time out. I have questions. If that was the truth, notice how up until this point, Amber is very short and direct. Yep, nope, I don't understand. I don't get it. About this dog poop, she's like, oh, honey, let me tell you the saga of the dog, okay? The dog, it poops everywhere, all the time, like you would not even believe, okay? My mom, and she's about to go into the hole, my mom even like sent me a text message, and my God, she reminded me of like this dog, and I'm like, oh my God, this fucking dog. It's clearly dog feces, because Blair, you ain't got nothing on me. There is no other plot. You would say that I did it? How dare you, Blair? How dare you accuse me of defecating in our marriage. Although it was kind of funny, wasn't it? I mean, no. How dare you accuse me of defecating on? You got nothing on me, Blair. You ain't got shit, Blair. You ain't got shit. What do you got, girl? Let me tell you. You got nothing. What do you got? Nothing. Exactly. What do you got? What do you got? Nothing. What do you got? Nothing. How much of it do you have? Nothing. The fact that she got so defensive and she's going on the full rant. Let me tell you about this dog. It's the dog, did it, dog, da. Is like, what are you hiding? Why did you suddenly go onto this rant?
Today saying that Boo used the bathroom in bed with her and so sorry about the sheets. What does she need to do? And that was yesterday.
If you were informed,
So,
Miss Heard, that feces you are looking at in respondent's exhibit is in fact human feces, would you know where that feces had come from?
Absolutely not.
Okay. And when you
Smirk
woke
again.
up that morning on April 22nd, was that feces in your bed?
I have no idea. Boo sleeps underneath the covers, and she's a small dog. And
Oh, she even admits that it's a small dog. Hold up. Hold up. I'm trying to see. If we can get a comparison photo of like dog size to poop size. I don't think I'm going to find it. All right, let's just move on. I don't think it's the dog.
she uses the bathroom in the bed quite frequently. So if it was in the bed, I didn't notice. And I know I didn't notice because there was another person that came into the bed, as I mentioned, Raquel Pennington, who talked to me and even showed me a video at morning.
Like, wouldn't you smell it? Like, wouldn't you smell it the moment you woke up? Like what is that? What does that smell? Do you smell that, Raquel? What? Oh, there's dog shit on the bed. She's like, I didn't notice. Possibly an indicator because you were the one who did it. So you're just trying to hide it.
Morning, it's my 30th birthday, and neither of us noticed it.
So I didn't get a present from Johnny, so let me leave him a present, right?
Then we got out of bed to pack because we were leaving for the weekend, for my little birthday weekend, and we left the dogs in the bed. You try to leave the dogs in the bed in the morning because as soon as you set them down, Boo is even more encouraged to use the bathroom, and I wasn't ready to go downstairs, so I left them in the bed where I grabbed a few things to pack, so it could have happened after I got out of bed.
When you say it could have happened, what do you mean?
Boo could have used the bathroom.
Could have. Oh, there it is. There it is. She accidentally slipped up once again. If it wasn't Boo, then who was it? Boo could have used the bathroom. He could have. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. You can't prove it, Blair. You ain't got nothing, Blair. You ain't got nothing. Nothing. N-O-T-H-I-N-G. Blair is sitting in a tree with nothing. Boo could have done it. Oops.
Miss Heard, I just want to be very clear. Between the time you were sleeping with Miss Raquel Pennington in your bed,
I never slept with Raquel Pennington
I'm sorry,
in my bed.
I misspoke. Between the time you were sleeping in your bed and the time you left your bed for the day, was any person other than you and Raquel Pennington in that bed?
No.
Was any other person?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. How long were you in your penthouse 3 before you left for your trip?
From when?
From the time you woke up until the time you left.
How long did it take us to get ready?
Well, what time did you leave the penthouse that day?
I don't, that night you said?
that day?
I feel like it was in midday. I don't know. I can't. If you don't want me to guess, then I'd have to say I don't know. I don't know the exact time.
Would it be fair to say around the afternoon, early afternoon?
That'd be fair.
Okay. And between the time you were sleeping in your bed and the time you left, did you ever leave your apartment?
Clarify. Sorry.
Between the time you left for your trip
Mm-hmm.
and the time you were sleeping and woke up in your bed, did you leave Penthouse 3? Or were you there the whole morning?
I went to the other penthouses to gather clothes and my paints and stuff. So yes, I did leave Penthouse 3.
To your awareness, to your knowledge, was any other person accessing your bedroom between the time you woke up on April 22nd and the time you left for your trip?
Other than Raquel?
Yes. And you?
I can't remember if the housekeepers came while I was there or after. I think the housekeepers came after.
I caught that, Alec. I like that.
So I'm not sure.
Okay. Is it fair to say that your testimony here is that other than you and Rocky, and possibly, you're not sure, the housekeepers, no other person came into your bedroom?
I cannot remember. I cannot
Vegas
tell
the
you.
time.
I also can't tell you who was in the apartments because the apartments connect. And at the time, Lily Rose and her boyfriend were living next door.
It was Lily. Lily did it.
Door in Penthouse 4, and they connect.
What?
So you have access to all of them. So between the house,
How many people is she going to blame for the poop?
His assistant and Lily Rose and her boyfriend, there are any number of people that have access to that apartment.
My question to you, Ms. Depp, is do you have any...
Oh, she called her Miss
reason to
Depp
believe
again.
on April 22nd, at any time in the day, that Lily Rose Depp was in your bedroom?
Are you asking me if I have any reason to believe that she was in my bedroom?
Correct.
No.
Do you have any reason to believe that Ash was in your bedroom on April 21, 2016 at any time? I'm sorry, April 22, 2016. At any
I
time.
have no idea who was in my
Exactly,
apartment
Karen.
or who had access to my apartment for whatever reason. I have no reason to believe specifically that Ash or Lily Rose was in my bedroom.
Could you name
I'm
it?
just saying a lot of people have access. Kevin, housekeepers, house manager, a lot of people have access to that apartment.
On April 22nd, 2016, could you identify any person that you gave authorization to have access to your bedroom on April 22nd?
Big ambiguous.
Yeah,
access
what do you-
to.
What are you asking me exactly?
Did you
So
tell
sorry.
any other human being that they could come into your bedroom on April 22nd?
I did not tell anybody. I did not tell any human being to come into that they had permission to specifically enter my bedroom on April 22nd. However, I know for a fact other people did come into my bedroom on April 22nd.
But you just said you don't recall. Pick one, Amber. Pick one. You can't have everything.
Who were those people?
I don't know which housekeepers were working that
Oh,
day.
for fuck's sake. Again, I know for a fact that they were there, but I don't know who. I know they were there, but I can't tell you who it was because I don't know. But I know, but I don't know. But I know, but for your purposes, I don't know. Oh.
I don't know if the house manager, Kevin, was working that day. I don't know if Andy was working that day. I don't know if Ash and Lily Rose were next door and coming into the office to get weed from their dad's office. I don't know.
Did you say weed from their dad's office?
Yes, the connecting apartment, the one that they lived in, It's there's a connecting door between their apartment and Johnny's office where he keeps all of the weed. And so Ash and Lily Rose would have full access to his office.
While you
And
were,
often would come into the apartment for that reason.
while you were in penthouse 3, on April 22nd, 2016, did you personally see any other person in your bedroom other than you and Raquel Pennington?
No, I don't recall anyone else being in my bedroom. However, I don't know, because I do not recall if the housekeepers came before I left or not.
But I know that they were there.
Don't remember if I saw them before I left.
I don't remember, but I
Before
know.
you left,
I know that I
on
don't
April
know.
22nd, 2016, did you see any other person in penthouse 3?
I swear, Blair has the patience of a saint, you guys. Like, my God. I would have thrown Amber off that fucking chair by now. God bless you, Blair. You truly are the most patient woman I have ever met. Well, and then later Camille. Camille has a similar type of patience. Like she had with Ms. Heard, that was Ms. Heard, that was not my question, Ms. Heard. My question to you was, remember that? Remember that? Yeah, those were some good moments.
Before you left.
I don't recall if I saw the housekeepers come before I left.
Okay, but other than the housekeeper,
Or the house manager.
okay, other than Rocky Pennington
Mhm.
and other than you,
Mhm.
is there any other person that you can identify you saw in the penthouse 3 on April 22nd, 2016 after you woke up?
Not that I recall.
Okay.
I think it's time for a lunch break. It's 1:30.
I've got about 10 more minutes.
We're taking a lunch break. Are you ready for lunch? You want to go?
Oh, if she has 10 more minutes, I'd rather wrap this up.
No, 10 more minutes before we break. I'd like to
Okay.
finish this line of questioning.
Not McCarthy still. I thought it was 10 more minutes.
No.
The lunch is here.
You want to power through for 10 more
Well, I'd rather power through, but I mean, I can just
No.
and get this shit over with.
We're breaking?
Oh my God. How disrespectful. See, this is again the whole look, why don't they just like take my word for it and leave me the fuck alone? Like, why are they prying? I don't like all this prying because it puts a question mark on my lies. My lies were supposed to have been accepted just like they were. Like, what about all those other Me Too women? Wait, they were actually telling the truth? Get out of here. No. They were telling the truth? Fuck. I'm the only lying one? Ooh, this is gonna suck.
Yeah, break.
We have a break.
I meant this.
I thought you were on 10 more minutes of the day.
I'm going to break.
Oh, sorry.
We're breaking.
We're okay.
We're not
She's all
breaking.
right.
Okay, I guess we're not breaking.
Oh, we're not.
We'll go for 10 more minutes. You'll finish this up and then we'll take a break.
That's fine.
Miss Heard, do you know someone by the name of Hilda Vargas?
Objection,
Yes.
speculation,
How long have you
Christine.
known Miss Vargas?
For now, almost 5 years.
Do you think of her as a good person?
Yes.
Do you think of her as a nice person?
Yes.
Okay. How often does she clean for you?
She works for Johnny, and she. I don't know her work schedule because sometimes I see her regularly, and then sometimes I go for a long time without seeing her.
Okay. Does she clean your areas where you live?
She cleaned the house where Johnny and I live on occasion.
Okay. Did she have any regular schedule, or did she just come whenever she wanted to?
I don't know what her schedule is.
Did you see her on certain days of the week?
It didn't seem to have a regular schedule, but I did see cleaning ladies most days of the week. They came almost every day.
Did you see Hilda Vargas on April 21? Do you know what Hilda Vargas looks like?
Yes.
Did you see her on April 21, 2016?
I don't remember seeing, I don't know if she was there on that day.
Did you see Hilda Vargas on April 22, 2016?
I can't remember. I don't know.
When was the last time you saw Hilda Vargas?
I saw Hilda at Johnny's, one of Johnny's West Hollywood houses, sometime right around the divorce.
Okay. And prior to that time, when was the last time you saw Hilda Vargas?
I don't recall.
Okay. And when you saw Hilda Vargas, you say you were at Johnny's another house?
Yeah, Johnny's main house, where he goes and lives every time we get
Thanks,
in a fight.
Sophie.
He moves to that house.
Ms. Hurd, when you say you saw Hilda Vargas sometime after April 21, did you have a conversation with her?
I did.
Okay. And what was that conversation about?
About the information I received from Johnny.
Excuse me?
About information I received from Johnny. I talked to her about the information I received from Johnny through, I think he said it was through Kevin, through Hilda, then to Kevin, and that Kevin had sent him a picture of the dog shit. Dog feces. And that Hilda, so I asked Johnny, when Johnny first informed me, he was the first person that told me about this. This was something I didn't know about until Johnny told me. And at the time we were speaking on the phone, it had been after about a month of not hearing from him. And I assumed Johnny was high and have in one of his manic episodes where he goes into delusion. That's what I assumed.
Miss
So
Hurd,
I
I'm gonna ask you to pause.
Sure.
And I'm gonna object as non-responsive and move to strike.
Okay.
I was asking you about a conversation.
I'm
I was
telling
asking you about a conversation you say you had with someone named Hilda Vargas. Do you understand my question?
No, your question asked me, as I understood it, your question was asking me what Hilda and I spoke about. And I responded the information Johnny gave me. And then you asked me to continue. So I was elucidating as to what that information was. When I attempted to do so, you interrupted me.
When you were elucidating, Miss Hurd, could you instead describe for me anything that Hilda Vargas said to you?
Hilda gave me, I asked Hilda if it was true that she took a picture. I asked Hilda if it was true if she took a picture of Boo. I asked Hilda if she took a picture of Boo's dog shit, dog poop. And thank you. Mm-hmm. I asked Hilda if she took a picture of Boo's dog poop because the other housekeepers, when I asked them, probably the day prior, I said, guys, I heard from Johnny on this phone call, and I assumed Johnny was high and in a delusion, so I wrote it off, but then he kept talking about it and kept bringing it up, and I thought that was very strange, and then he texted me a picture of it. So I said, how did you have this why do you have it? Why do you poop on your phone? And he said that Kevin sent it to him. Kevin from Hilda, or no, from the housekeepers. So I asked the housekeepers, with whom I have great respect and in a great relationship. I think I would be shocked if they said otherwise. But I asked them who took this picture, because Johnny's been carrying around this picture for a month of Boo's dog shit, and he's been he's latched onto this delusion. And I want to know how this information, I want to know the custody of this information, and why no one told me, why no one said, why no one sent me this picture? Why did it go to Johnny in the way it did? Because I felt like it aided in his delusion. So The other housekeepers told me it was Hilda that took the picture or saw it. They didn't even see it. They don't know. And I asked Hilda when I saw her. I just happened to run into her at Johnny's West Hollywood place. And I said, Hilda, do you know anything about this? And she said, well, yeah, I took a picture of it because it looked really big. It didn't look like Boo. And I said, but, you know, what do you mean by that? And she said, well, it was in the bed. And I said, but Boo should, God, I'm sorry. Boo uses
these
the bathroom
Freudian
in the
slips are like, I'm so over them. I mean, she's trying to make them come out naturally, but they're so forced. It's disgusting.
bed all the time. And she said, oh, I mean, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And I said, you don't know that because when that happens, I clean it up and then wrap the sheets up.
I noticed that too,
and I
miss.
always, every
She's
single
so
time this has
excited about
happened
this.
before, wrap the sheets up and either wash them myself or put them aside and tell the housekeepers when they're doing laundry. By the way, within this pile, be careful. There is, Boo used the bathroom again. And so it's cleaned up more or less every time. And Hilda was working for us very rarely these days in the penthouses. Like she was coming only.
Oh, soul search gurus. That's a great question. How do you define a Freudian slip? An unintentional error regarded as revealing subconscious feeling. It's an unintentional, oopsies, I didn't mean to say that, which reveals your unconscious mind's true intent.
Only she was not there every day. So I had a conversation with Hilda and said, if I had ever seen that Boo did that, if I had ever noticed it, I would never have left it there. I would have cleaned it up. I'd never do that to you guys. I'm so sorry that I didn't clean it up. It was because I didn't see it. And I just don't want you to think that I was so disrespectful as just to leave dog poop in the bed for you to clean up. I was worried that she might think that, might be offended that I would just leave our dog's poop in the bed. It's rude.
Did you say anything else to Hilda Vargas during this conversation
I don't know.
at Johnny's house?
We had I don't know what else we talked about. I think it was primarily about the poop.
Did you refer to it with Miss Vargas as poop or shit?
I think I used the word mierda.
Okay.
I spoke to her in Spanish.
Okay. You used the word mierda?
Mierda.
Mierda. Okay. And did you tell Hilda Vargas at any time during the conversation?
Or maybe I said caca. I can't remember if I used the word caca or mierda.
It's been 10 minutes.
Did
Can
you
we please-
tell Hilda Vargas at
Sorry.
any time during the conversation when you had with her at Johnny's house that the pictures you took of the caca or mierda have destroyed my marriage?
There's a George Carlin joke in there. Oh God, this is so filthy. Sigmund Freud, this is George Carlin, this is not me. Sigmund Freud said, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Oh yeah, well sometimes it's a big hard dick. God rest in peace, George. I love you.
No.
Did you at any time in your conversation with Hilda Vargas?
Same thing here, right? Sometimes poop is just dog poop. Well, sometimes it's Amber Heard's feces.
Reference your marriage being hurt by the fact that she had taken these pictures.
I referenced my marriage being hurt as a result of the chain of communication and how it was communicated from one person to the next, from the next to the next to the next person, and then ultimately to Johnny, who clearly has been in a very bad state and is clearly in one of his downward spirals. And during these battles with sobriety, when he's losing, he is very susceptible to delusions and stimulation. He's very paranoid.
Okay, how do you know all this stuff? Again, I want to understand. Like, you come off as this very ditzy, I don't know anything, and I don't know what's going on. I didn't understand your question. Could you mind please repeating it for me? Oh, no, I don't remember that. But about Johnny, oh, yeah, I am a fucking psychologist with a degree. Let me explain, all right? So these episodes, because I know exactly what's going on inside his head, those are episodes of delusion, okay? No. I don't have those. I am not using my own experiences as a frame of reference about anything that I'm talking about right now. So throw that out of your head, okay? Now, when Johnny experiences, when he has these episodes, right? He has this, and this. Why? Because I live in Johnny's head. I know. Duh. Like, don't even try to quarrel with me. Like, I know this stuff backwards and forwards. I went to Johnny Depp University, okay? I know everything, Johnny. I have studied him before I started dating. Oh, wait, did I say that out loud? I got to know him as we were dating, I think. I believe I got to know Johnny as I dated him. Is that the right answer? Hey, softer. I need you. Help. Help. I don't know what's going on.
And because he's in one of those states, any information that's delivered to him in this way it can have repercussions that are very damning.
Okay. Can you? This is my last question.
Last question.
Okay. And then I'm going to have one about what I'm going to ask her to do during the break, but that's it. Okay. The one before that question is: can you describe for us with your hands how big your dog is? Boo.
Boo she's a square.
Okay.
She's about this big.
She's a square? What the fuck does that mean? I've never seen a square dog before. Chickenhead says the housekeeper would know what pets leak. They just know. So she had to tell the housekeeper the dog leaks. No, absolutely no. Projection, Your Honor. That was good. Good job, Morgan. I dig that. You got a lull from the DUI guy on that. Square dog? Please elaborate, Ms. Heard. Square dog.
Okay.
She's like a brick. She's a brick.
Let the record reflect. Can you describe approximately how many inches you are saying Boo is in length?
How big is this?
What kind of dog is she?
She is a Yorkie.
A Yorkie.
Okay, that's one question.
Can you describe how long she is?
She weighs? Okay, so she's probably this.
Did she just describe her own fucking dog as a brick? What? Is this like an attempt at evasion of a question, or is that another Freudian slip of her actually releasing out into the world on accident her true intentions and how she feels about animals? Animals, yeah, they're like bricks. They're inanimate objects. They're living, breathing inanimate objects, but they're bricks. What? The fuck? Stop doing drugs, Amber.
This long.
Okay. Do you have an approximation? I only want you to tell
What
you believe the
I'm
truth.
doing,
Do you know how much she weighs?
She weighs.
Don't guess.
I don't know how much she weighs.
Okay.
But she's almost as wide as she is long. She's a brick. She's a cube.
A cube or a brick. Okay.
Okay.
So
You're gonna ask her
before we
She's a cute?
before we pause, I'm going to ask you during the break to please do the following.
Okay.
Would you be kind enough to retrieve your cell phone from the car?
Don't answer the question yet.
Okay.
Okay. And would you also, oh, well, I'd like her to answer the question.
No, I'm going to instruct you not to answer this. And I already told you that you should be asking us about production of documents types of questions.
Okay.
It's a
May
proper.
I also ask you during the break to review the documents that you provided in these proceedings today, and do that during the time we have for the break?
Okay,
May I ask you to do that?
you've asked her to do that, and we're taking a break now. It's not a question to be answered.
How long are we taking?
An hour?
You know,
It's gonna skip, I
Well,
imagine. Obviously,
it
we're
may
not just
force us
gonna.
to come back tomorrow, but yes. I mean,
we're
I'd like
taking a
to-
lunch break?
I'd like to take 30 minutes if that's okay.
No, we're taking an hour. It's intense. She's talking about being abused. You know, she needs a break. We all need a break.
We're going off the record.
Yes.
I
We're
think we're going
not.
off
We
the
still have about 40 minutes, but don't go anywhere. They're taking a break. We're coming back right away. It'll be like a few seconds. So it's going to skip over to the next portion in just a second. Just give it a moment. And we're going to finish up this volume 2. So far, I am not surprised by a lot of this. But holy fucking shit, you guys. This is intense. This is really insane. Here we go. 2:33. Here we are an hour later. The video is about to resume. Deposition continues. There it is. Told you. How did I know? How did he know that? Oh my god. DUI guy's like psychic or something. Oh my god. I need to. What was her name? Ms. That psychic everybody used to call back in the 80s. I forgot her name. Help me out, Chad.
The time is approximately 2:33
This will
p.m.
be.
And we're back on the line.
Not Dr. Ruth. Dr.
No,
Ruth was the
okay.
sex woman.
Okay.
Thank you. Good afternoon again, Ms. Hurd. Ms. Hurd, do you
Ms. Cleo.
recall signing a
Yeah, Ms. Cleo. Oh my god. DUI guy's like Ms. Cleo. We need to like sign up a hotline and ask him questions. This is DUI guy's psychic. Oh my god.
a sworn declaration in support of your claim seeking a domestic violence restraining order against Mr. Depp?
I do remember signing a declaration. Are you asking specifically about the declaration for divorce or restraining order?
I'm asking specifically about the declaration you signed in support of your request for a restraining order.
Yes.
Okay. Showing you what will be marked as Respondents K. Do you recognize that document? It's a 1, 2, 3,
Excuse me.
4-page document. Do you recognize that document?
take your time.
It's the same when I filed this. Or was
Look at the
this on
last page.
Thanks, Diane. Yeah, me too. Me too, Leilani. Well, I mean, Fantalicious, it's fair. What she's doing is fair. I can't really hate on. She's trying to understand exactly what she's looking at.
Yes.
She may not exactly like, because she doesn't want to say yes I do, and then she doesn't recognize the third page, and then she's like, oh wait a minute, no, I lied to you. Like, you don't want to be in that position. You want to make sure that you recognize every single line of every single page. So she's going. It's fair. Sorry, something happened here. I did not mean to click that. Anyway, yeah, it's fair. You know, I can empathize with what's going on here. Amber is making sure that she is looking at a document, she understands what's in it, and she sees what's written on it so that she can answer questions about it. So it's fair. It's fair.
And have you had an opportunity to read through that document?
I briefly read it
Okay.
just now.
Do you need to read it in any more detail to know that it's what you said?
It seems like
There's about 35 minutes left of this particular portion of the Depo. This is the volume 2. We're doing them in chunks, as Incredibly Average releases them. That's an answer to Ghost Rider. Oops. No, Brenda, I don't. No, I don't. No, I'm waiting on volume 3. Volume 3 is not out yet, Light Giver.
yes.
Yes, what?
This looks like the document I signed and I'm familiar with, and
So
I feel as though having read it as briefly as I just did, that I can say that.
Do you need any more time to be able to say that that's the document you filed when you signed under penalty of perjury for your DVRO? Do you need any more time?
Just
Oh, so this is the DVRO paperwork. This is the DVRO paperwork. The original before the TRO. Remember, the TRO was the only thing that was granted by the court. The DVRO is what she asked for originally. That's what she filed for. Remember, she said, Your Honor, I need a domestic violence restraining order against Mr. Depp. And the court was like, insufficient evidence. Here's a temporary restraining order until you hold a deposition, in which case afterwards I may or may not grant you a full DVRO. But after the deposition, Amber realized her fuckery is not being bought anymore, and she completely abandoned ship and dismissed the TRO and went back to nil.
section, best evidence rule. You know, the actual signed document would be the best evidence.
Is the document before you in Respondents K, the document that you signed in support of your domestic violence restraining order?
Best evidence rule, the document filed in court would be the best evidence.
Ms. Heard, just so there's no claim that you've been tricked in any way, because my intention is not to trick
Look
you
at her.
in any way.
Look at her head just starts tilting. Look at this. Like trying to pay attention to what's happening. Watch her head. I'm gonna slow it down again. This is fascinating. Look and turn it off the volume, okay? Watch Amber's head right here. Watch it. As Blair begins asking Amber a question, I want to ask you something. And I'm here and I don't want to trick you. Her lips kind of open, her head tilts forward, and she just begins kind of tilting her head. Kind of like how dogs do when you do something and they're like, "Huh? Like, what happened? Huh? What's going on? Huh?" Like I thought her head was gonna fall off her neck when she was doing that for a moment. I swear. All right, turning the sound back on at regular playback speed. Let's go.
Are the statements contained in the document that you've just identified as the direct declaration you filed in support of your domestic violence restraining order on May 26,
Welcome, Lisa.
2016? Are each of those statements true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
It's a compound question. If you want to go through each statement and affirm, that would be fine. That would be the better way to do it.
Again, Mr. Harder continues to make speaking objections that are improper and inappropriate for these proceedings, and I would ask him to make legal objections for the record.
Compound is the legal objection, and I explained it briefly.
Ms. Hurd, are you aware that you have
Even poor Blair is so thrown off. She is just like Ms. Hamber, like she just combined Hurd and Amber on accident and called her Ms. Like I thought she was about to say like Ms. Hamburger. Like maybe that's what she had for lunch. I don't know, but the Freudian slips in his deposition are just epic. Yes, exactly, Nicole. Where are you? There you are, Ms. Hamburger. Would you like ketchup with them fries? Mm-hmm.
sworn under penalty of perjury that each of the statements you made in your declaration were true, were truthful? Yes?
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay. And
why is she whispering all of a sudden?
In your declaration, you
lack of confidence. That's what that screams to me. Yes. Like she is not confident in her answers.
Allegations about something that happened, you say, on April 21, 2016. Does that sound familiar?
It sounds familiar, yes.
Okay. Do you remember April 21, 2016?
What part of that day?
Any of the events that you think are significant?
I remember my birthday party dinner, and I remember
I'm not asking you what you remember right now. I'm asking.
Oh, and I just noticed, thanks again to Corey Simon. Holy crap for the gifted subs. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Join in as a member if you want access to emojis and stuff.
You remember the events? Are they clear in your mind?
I remember any specific events.
Any events related to these allegations you've made?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Hurd, in your declaration, do you say that Johnny, and I'm pointing you so you can be very clear, paragraph 7 of the declaration. Do you say in your sworn declaration, Johnny showed up inebriated and high in that declaration?
Let me find it. Yeah, I do. Yes.
Okay. And when you say he showed up inebriated and high in your declaration, to what are you referring to? What time of the day and what day are you referring to?
Which question are you asking me?
Let
Are
me
you
s-
asking me?
let me be
one-
clear. Let me be clear.
Thank you.
Do you swear in your declaration and state that on April 21, 2016, I celebrated my birthday with my friends at the Broadway residence?
Yes, I do say that in my declaration.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. Do you also say in your declaration, quote, as everyone was preparing to leave my birthday party,
Thanks, Ty.
Johnny showed up inebriated and high?
Wait.
Yes, I do say that.
Okay. What time did Johnny show up inebriated and high to the birthday party?
I don't remember the exact time,
Okay.
but
it
I
is-
do remember it was after the dinner had been completed.
Okay. And your statement that he showed up inebriated high as everyone was preparing to leave my birthday party is truthful, correct?
Why are you repeating hi? I don't have that on here. Maybe we have different drafts.
Wait.
Just twice now. I was just making sure we had the same draft. Can you repeat it, please?
Are you looking at paragraph 7?
Yes, can you repeat your question,
Yes.
please?
Do you make the statement in paragraph 7, as everyone was preparing to leave my birthday party, Johnny showed up, comma, inebriated and high?
Yes.
You do make that statement.
Yes.
Okay. So that statement is true, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
To the best of my knowledge.
Well, were you there?
Yes, I was.
Did you see him when he arrived?
Yes.
Is it your testimony he was inebriated and high?
Yes, it is my testimony.
Is that the truth?
As far as I could tell, yes.
Oh my God.
I am not Johnny, so
Okay. Tell me exactly what you observed in Johnny Depp when he first arrived at your birthday party that made you conclude that he was inebriated and high.
because I know Johnny. I know
Oh,
Johnny
that's
very well.
not an answer. That is not an answer. I know him. Again, you are not, despite the fact that you went to Johnny Depp University, as you clearly admitted on the record, Ms. Heard, you are not inside his head. You can only testify about what you see. If you saw what looked like a Johnny Depp that was on drugs, then say so. You can't be like, oh yeah, absolutely he was. Like, I know him. I know him. That he was. That's it. He was. You cannot jump to such a conclusion. That is an extreme speculation. And I don't understand how she can do that, honestly. I really don't.
Well,
Can you describe for us anything and everything you saw when you saw Johnny, who you know, that made you conclude he
Right,
was
exactly,
inebriated
Lori.
and high?
Like, details, woman. Give us details.
what gave me the impression that Johnny was inebriated and high?
Yes.
Many things. I know
Like,
him very well.
So
First-
yes, go ahead.
yeah.
I'd like you to describe them.
Go
So please
ahead.
do.
Come on.
Describing the things that give me the impression.
Oh, for the love of God. She's got nothing. She's got nothing. She legit has absolutely nothing. Look at how many times she has to like fish, like, okay, how do I do? What do I see? What have I seen? What have I seen? How can I describe it? A person who sees like, oh, his eyes were bloodshot and glossy. He was stumbling over his words. He was stumbling over his feet. He was stumbling over objects. He was throwing things. Come on. Like, do I have to do your job for you, Amber? Come on. Oh, gross. Vomit.
That Johnny is, or
Thank you very
was
much, Rachel.
inebriated and high. First and foremost, he was hours late.
Oh, so he was late. He was late, so clearly he had time to get high, because anytime I don't see Johnny, Johnny is doing drugs behind my back. Clearly. I mean, clearly. What?
I don't want to guess, but I estimate 2 hours.
Oh,
Something a little more.
wait. Nope, that's clear. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Objection. That is clear evidence of drug use. I mean, he was gone a whole 2 hours. I did not have eyes on him for 2 hours. Drugs. Clearly. Drugs. 100%. Anytime he's ever been late to anything, drugs. Always. Going to the supermarket to purchase eggs, milk, and make a pit stop to fill up gas at the gas station? No. Drugs. If he's late, then drugs. Him avoiding me because he is trying not to get into a fight because we fought the last time we got together? No. Drugs. He went to a movie with friends? No. Drugs. He was hanging out with his buddies, writing a new song? No. Drugs.
That's a first sign. Knowing how important someone's 30th birthday party, your wife's birthday party is, and being that late tells me, first and foremost, that he is out.
Objection! Speculation!
When he's out, as he had been a lot in the months prior, he spent a lot of time drinking and doing a lot of cocaine. I know that because of how he would return home after these kinds of dinners. So he comes back, and I could tell by, first of all, that he had wine in his hand. I could tell by his speech nuances in his behavior, and getting up every 15 minutes to go to the bathroom is, in my experience with him, a telltale sign of his coke use, which had been a problem as of late. And then he.
I like how she, like, throughout the deposition, tries to pepper in, like, yeah, Lily Rose, yeah, she came in to go probably to the weed stash. Like, I wasn't there. I didn't see anything, but they were probably just taking some of his drugs. Oh, and by the way, it's the coke use. Yeah, it has become a problem as of late. I just wanted to make sure that you are aware of that. I'm going to throw that in there. Whether it has or hasn't, honestly, I don't think has any relevance here at all. At all. And she is throwing it in kind of like, oh, it's a, by the way, it's like a scorpion sting. I've never gotten stung by a scorpion, thank goodness. But it's like, he's got the tail, the scorpion, or she. He's got the scorpion tail. And you're just like, oh, hey, can I ask you ow, that hurt. I just wanted to ask you about the drug use. Listen, tell me about the obviously high. Like, she's got that scorpion sting that just comes out of nowhere. And it's like, what? How is that irrelevant to anything I just asked you? I'm telling you, cringe, says Karen. Hope her head doesn't start spinning. Yeah. Blackjack Gaming says, go back to how she moves her head after 2 hours. It's exactly the same face and movement from Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Dr. Spiegel. Spiegel! You guys remember, have you seen Breaking Bad? Remember Hector? Ding, 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 ding. Reminds me of that. Susan M., welcome to the channel. Chi-Town, welcome.
And then he disappeared quickly. His behavior is just aggressive, short fuse. I could tell he was using a lot of Adderall in the month prior, which was making him very aggressive towards me, aggressive towards criticism, and the paranoia, which is extremely.
She's clearly a
it's
doctor now.
exacerbated when he's
Psychiatric
using a lot of,
doctor.
when he's smoking a lot of.
She's providing a psychiatric evaluation to Johnny Depp in the middle of her deposition.
marijuana. So all of these things, plus the fact that he was smoking marijuana in front of me at some point at the night, all tell me he was
Thanks, Dina.
under the influence.
Ms. Heard, I asked, my question to you was, what signs did you see when he first arrived that Johnny Depp was, as you say, inebriated and high when you first saw him come in that evening?
Good question.
I could tell he was inebriated and high when he entered the room. I could tell by how he walks. I could tell because he was so late to something that was very important.
Okay, so he was, just to be
Again, like, woman, describe his walk. That's how you tell the truth, okay? This is about to turn into a coaching lesson for Amber on how to properly lie, okay? When you're trying to tell a lie and you want people to believe you, you have to give details. Remember how you tried to do that during the trial and failed miserably? Okay, so let's practice. He had a staggered gait, right? There was a little toy on the floor from Boo, and he tripped over that. For example, okay, por ejemplo. Now, afterwards, he tried to put the keys in the little bowl that we have by the entrance, and he missed, and they fell to the floor. It's still not enough, right? But now you're building a record of what it may be. I know, Amber. I know. You're just narcissistic and psychopathic. You're unable to relate to the human condition. So to you, everything is just a blur. You're like, things happen and then I try to control them. I know, I know. You don't have to tell me. But I'm just telling you the human condition has nuances. And if you want to build a record, you talk about the little things. Yeah. Like, you remember how you tried to, like, I remember that the carpet was dirty. Like, that was psychotic, Amber. Don't ever do that again. Okay? That's not how humans talk. That's not how humans perceive things. You need to act more like a human. Say it with me, Amber. Human. Okay? Human. Humans have emotions. Say it with me. Emotions. They feel things. Feel. I know. You've never felt anything. Your heart is ice. I know. But at least try to imagine it. Imagine with me, Amber. Home. Home. There you go. Oh, God.
Clear, he was late and how he was walking.
Not limited to those two things.
Okay.
Shall I continue? Or
Well-
do you want me to just pretend that interruption was done? Like that was it?
I'm not intending to interrupt you. I just
Oh,
wanted to be
okay.
clear
There was
what you
more.
said. Please
that's
continue.
His behavior, his speech patterns, his
She's
highly
fishing.
volatile, aggressive kind of reaction to physically, the small intimate details you pick up on when you know someone really well.
Don't say them. Talk about them, the little small intimate details that you, what are they? Describe them. Tell us. Human. Hashtag human woman.
They were all tilted into the direction of somebody who was under the influence of the things I just mentioned.
Okay. So at the time you saw him enter your birthday party, from the way he was, fact that he was late.
Thank you, Emily.
Way that he was walking, his speech patterns, and those things you can intuit from his behavior, you believed, as you said, that he was inebriated and high, correct?
Not to mention his frequent frequent trips to the bathroom, the taste of cocaine when I kissed him. Kind of
Whoa, whoa! Time out! What did she just say? The taste of cocaine when I kissed him. Okay, number one, I have questions. Hold on. Pause everything. Number one, how does she know what cocaine tastes like unless she has had it before? So we have an admission. Number two, was she kissing his nose? Don't you snort cocaine? I mean, I guess I've seen movies where they they do that, I guess. I think it numbs the lips or something. I know it has a numbing effect. But how would she know that? How would she know the taste of it? Oops.
The taste of cocaine when I kissed him, kind of the small intimate behaviors.
I think her lawyer shifted uncomfortably because he was like, "Oh fuck, it's gonna be hard to get away from that one."
Pick up on when you're sitting next to someone.
Okay. When did you first kiss him, Miss Hurd?
You interrupted her.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I guess what other things do I think were signs that he was inebriated and high? Aggression, lack of eye contact, subtle nuances in his behavior, and the fact that he didn't participate in a way that I have seen him participate socially in my birthday. We were, the small subtle things, and they became grossly amplified as soon as everyone.
I don't know if this is a first for everybody, but yeah, we just found a very interesting tidbit. Like, actually, legitimately. I know I made a joke about it, but I'm dead serious. That's official. Based on her statement, Amber Heard knows exactly what cocaine tastes like. Otherwise, how else would she know that Johnny was using cocaine when she kissed him? She said she tasted it. So she knows exactly what cocaine tastes like, which means she has probably used before, prior to this. You can't taste cocaine? Well, T, without making any admissions, please, does anybody agree or disagree? Okay, let's take a pause here. That you may have heard from your friends, okay? Does cocaine have like a taste, a distinct taste? That's the question. I mean, I'm about to go to Google. Does cocaine have a taste? What does cocaine taste like? Identifying cocaine. Pure cocaine is a white powdery substance. Identifying by taste. Powdered cocaine has a numbing, okay, we knew that, acidic taste. Acidic, so it's kind of acidic. Yes, it has a taste. Yes, it does. Yes, you can taste it. You can taste Coke. Bitter. Coke has a very distinct taste. Okay, so I think people disagree with you, T. People are disagreeing with you. The vast majority says has acidic taste. that occasionally brings with it a slight flavor of ammonia. Now, that doesn't sound very pleasant. Slight tingling and numbing sensations have been reported after oral ingestion. Okay. So I guess, you can snort it, and then I remember seeing scenes in movies where people use cocaine where they do a line and then they just kind of rub their lips or whatever. So I guess it was on his lips or his gums, and she tasted it, which means she knows what cocaine tastes like. And she has already admitted during the trial that she has done cocaine. Okay. I don't pay attention to these little nuances. I imagine she did, but I mean they're in that arena, hanging out with movie stars. So drugs get passed around.
Everyone started leaving the party.
Part of the lifestyle.
How many people were there when you saw Johnny arrive?
I don't know the exact number.
Can you identify anyone else there when you saw Johnny arrive?
Do you mean, do I know who was at my birthday party? Is that what you mean?
No, I mean, can you identify for us anybody else who was present when you saw Johnny arrive?
We all saw Johnny arrive. Everybody at my party did.
Can you identify for us who those people were?
Yes, they were my close friends and family.
By name?
I know Melanie Iglesias was there. Erin Borum, her partner. Melanie's partner. His name is Steve. I don't know his last name. My sister, a boyfriend of hers at the time.
Name?
They were just dating briefly. His name was what was his name? I'll think of it. Whitney, new boyfriend every few months.
Your sister has a new boyfriend every few months.
This one was, what was his name? I forget his name right now, but I'll think of it.
Okay. Could you let us know? Maybe give your attorneys that so they can let us know.
Absolutely.
Great. Anyone else present when you saw Johnny give these symptoms that you described?
Welcome, Aaron.
Josh Drew, Raquel Pennington, Amanda DeCadenet, somebody else there. I feel like, Brandon McCulloch.
She really likes, okay, is it just me, or does she really like to throw people under the bus? I've noticed a very distinct change in her demeanor when she starts talking about other people. Remember the maids and Lily Rose coming in and all that. Now she's talking about her sister and all the people there. She gets a little fired up when she is permitted to bring other people in. It's almost like she's too hot for teacher, only it's too hot for ratting people out. She just gets very unusually excited about let me tell you about everybody who was there, and she was there, and he was there, and so was he, and him, and that. Mm-hmm. Oh yes, you want to question them? Go ahead. I wasn't there. I was there. I don't know. I don't care. She's just got that panache when she starts doing that. It's quite disturbing. How much do you want to bet, says Vicky, that Whitney has a new boyfriend because Amber would sleep with the boyfriends in her, Whitney? Oh, whoa, that's a hell of a theory, Vicky. Holy shit. Objection speculation, but hey, you never know. Thank you, Otto.
And I think
snitches get stitches.
If I'm forgetting anyone, it's just I don't know. I don't think I'm forgetting anyone.
Okay. when Johnny first arrived, where was everybody in the apartment? Had there been guests?
Oh, Christy
guess-
Sexton.
Christy Sexton. Is that Sexton? Okay.
She's there.
When Johnny first arrived, you say approximately 2 hours late. Was there were any of these people still in the apartment?
Yes.
Okay. Where were they?
Who?
Any of these people? Were they all gathered in one location?
I think we were more or less milling about, cleaning up plates from dinner, moving about the apartment.
Okay. So Johnny wasn't present when you were still eating at the table?
Some people might have still had their plates in front of them. I don't know to what.
Yeah, exactly. Aquarius dragon. And by the way, are you actually an Aquarius dragon? Or is that just like a name? I imagine probably has some relation. I am a Tauran earth dragon, by the way, for those of you who don't know. I don't think I've ever actually said that on stream yet. Yeah. I mean, people who know my birth year can easily calculate it, but I'm a Tauran earth dragon. And it's going to be the year of the dragon in a year and 3 months, 4 months. So super excited about that. We haven't had, I mean, every 12 years, obviously, I know, but it's just exciting. You know, year of the dragon is going to be 2024. The only time it happened was when I was born, when I was 12, and then when I was 24. So now when I'm going to be 36 in a year and a half, we're going to have the year of the dragon again. And my element is earth. I don't remember how you calculate it, but yeah. Anyway, thank you, Sharon. Just I noticed that. Yeah, Tauran can be terrifying. Tauran can be absolutely terrifying. Anyway, back to the topic.
Extent they had finished
Okay.
because there's more than one person.
Okay. When you described one of the signs you saw when you arrived that convinced you that he was inebriated and high, and you mentioned his aggression, could you describe exactly what you saw that made you feel you were witnessing aggression?
It was subtle, and it was in regards to whisperings between him and I. As soon as I was sitting next to an empty chair my entire birthday dinner, and when he walked in, everyone kind of responded to the fact that there's this empty chair next to me that the whole night had just been awaiting to be filled. And so I think when he sat down, he kind of it was in his postures and his body language. It was in how he reacted to me, what he said and what he didn't say to me. You know, the normal behavior is to say happy birthday or sorry I'm late or whatever. And he was quiet and subtly short with me. And when we spoke, it was a very curt and dismissive.
Damn, Susan. Feels bad,
Ms.
man.
Hurd, let me just remind myself for a second. I had asked you before our break to retrieve your cell phone from the car at the break. Did you do that? Were you able to do that?
I didn't bring it with me. I'm sorry.
You did not bring your cell phone?
No.
So it was not in the car?
No.
Did you check?
Yeah.
You checked the car?
No, I asked. I asked
Asked
Rodrigo. I asked them to ask Rodrigo and
Who's Rodrigo?
my driver.
Okay. Does Rodrigo know where your personal possessions are?
Look,
I don't have
we're
anything
not
in the car,
required
I
to.
said.
Let me just enter an objection. We're not required to produce a telephone, so we're not going to do it.
Ms. Hurd, did you have any knowledge at the time Johnny showed up to your birthday party late where he had been?
He told me he.
How dare he show up to my birthday party late, high, with no gift? Oh, that man is going to pay. He's going to pay big. Nobody messes with Amber's birthday. Capiche?
was in a meeting, or he had a meeting.
Did you have any awareness with who?
No,
You had no awareness as to who it was with.
no, he said some money guys, some guys that were helping him, or some money guys. That's all he said.
Okay. And did you have any communications with him earlier in the evening about his being delayed or why he was late?
No, but I do remember, not that I know of specifically, but I do remember speaking to him on the phone in the afternoon. And I said to him, do you know you do know the time? And it's at 8 or whatever, I think 8:30. And he said, okay, well, I just have a meeting at 7 or something. And I remember thinking to myself, it sounded a little tricky, but it'd be really important I'd really appreciate you being there. You are coming, right? It's my birthday dinner. And he said, yeah, of course, yeah.
How many times did you call him during this period?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. Did you text him as well?
I don't remember. I'm sure I did, but that's a guess.
Don't guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Justify that
Showing you
know.
what will be marked as respondents L.
K, I believe.
No, it's that. You missed
Oh, I'm
K.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, before I do that, Miss Hurd, let me be clear. Were you upset by the idea that he would show up to your birthday party drunk and high? Did that upset you?
Well, no, he brought the party to my party, so I was actually very happy. I was upset that the drugs were late. The drugs were supposed to arrive on time, and Johnny was bringing the drugs. Now we couldn't party because Johnny was late.
That he was drunk and high?
Yes.
Yes, I would call it disappointed.
Okay. And did
Disappointed.
did you approve
Disappointed I didn't get the drugs on time.
of him drinking alcohol?
No.
Was that something you supported?
Did I support Johnny drinking alcohol?
Yes.
No.
And did you support Johnny drinking alcohol during this specific time, April 21, 2016?
I was disappointed and disheartened anytime I saw him drinking, but
And some other diss words.
it was not a deal breaker. Oh my God, I'm walking away from you in this relationship, as it had been in many iterations of our relationship, when he would promise to get sober and clean, and then by the first drink would be a huge fight, and it would
Okay. Are you finished?
yes.
Okay.
If you
And so I'm assuming it would be true that you didn't encourage him to drink while he was at the party that night, correct?
Are you asking me if I encouraged him to drink?
Yes, alcohol.
I would never characterize.
I noticed that too, Elsie.
No, I would never.
We talked about
characterize
that
it like
earlier.
I would never say that.
Okay.
I would never say I was encouraging of.
Okay. Or supporting, correct?
I depends on what you call supporting.
In favor of him drinking.
Emotionally, I would be never ever in favor of him drinking.
Okay. And would that be the same for on April 21, 2016, Johnny using drugs?
What are you asking me?
Whether you would encourage that he
Vague.
do that?
Vague is the term drugs.
What do you mean? Then?
Non-prescription drugs.
Vague.
Which
Cocaine,
I would never ever be supportive of Johnny using cocaine.
marijuana.
I hated that he smoked marijuana.
Okay.
I could not always express direct opposition to him, depending on what his state was and how lost of a cause that would have been, how many fights it would have incited, depending on where we were in our game of never again, never again, never again.
Showing you what we previously identified as respondents exhibit
Yeah, I
L.
remember that
Could you take a
matrix.
look at that, please?
That's a good point. He is projecting on Amber. I'm mad because he brought drugs and alcohol, but he didn't give them to me. Remember, Amber organized their wedding with drugs included. I was remembering that fact. I was waiting for somebody else to point it out too, and I was going to point it out later, but I'm glad you brought it up now so we can address it. Remember that list that she had that was brought out during the trial? I think cocaine was either listed on there or drugs were just listed on there. I can't remember exactly. In the email that she sent out. It was literally in the fucking email. Like, these people have no shame. She has no shame. Yeah, so that, says Matrix. Thank you. Great point. If the monster is drunk or high, if the monster is drunk or high, Johnny, why was she disappointed? Why wasn't she terrified? Great observation, Pauline. Great observation. That answer did not make any sense.
Take your time.
It's hard to keep your lies straight when you're lying so much. I get it.
What is this one?
And the lies like compound on one another.
Ms. Hurd, did you have a chance to look at those?
I did.
That 2-page text, respondents L?
Yes.
Okay. Did you send that text to Mr. Depp on April 21 at 9:40?
I don't remember sending that.
Did you communicate with Johnny Depp during the evening of April 21 and ask him how he was doing?
I don't remember sending these specifically.
Okay.
Do you have at 9:40? Yeah. Okay. I'm assuming I sent these because it says Slim, and that's probably me.
Slim is you? Okay. And is it true, I just want to know, is it true that prior to Johnny arriving at the party, you sent him a text that said, quote, "Hey baby, bring up something to drink and or a joint"? Did you say that to him?
That it says that I sent that to him. I don't remember what context that was.
Do you deny saying that to him by text prior to his arrival at the party?
No, I am not denying that. I'm just saying I don't remember having done it.
Okay.
I don't remember every text message in the context of which it is. For instance, I know that if he's, just an idea, the context matters, and there are many other people at that party whom might be asking for joints that he would be. There are a lot of people at the party that would have asked or appreciated him bringing.
Wow, what a carefully crafted answer. I love the fact that she is speculating and her lawyer didn't object, because we get an idea into like Amber's operating mechanism. She's like, well, let me gaslight you into an idea of what it could potentially, possibly, maybe, kind of, sort of be about. Lay it out on the table, push it, and then see reactions. Do they believe me? Does that sound believable? Do I need to change it next time? Yeah.
Up a joint or a drink. I could have been asking for one of our other guests, not Johnny. And I'm looking at this and assuming I was asking on behalf of a particular person at the party or particular couple of people at the party.
Is it your testimony?
Not for
now?
him.
You were asking him to bring up a drink for someone else at the party.
When he had still not been home, and when you get off the elevator, you pass you pass the utility closet, the utility apartment. And inside that utility apartment is a wine cellar and a lot of other things. And so I'm sure I was asking him to bring in something for someone else because those are very common. And at this stage in our
Oh, oops. Again, at first she was avoiding it, remember? And now she goes, oh, yeah, it was me. And I was asking it for somebody else. The truth will set you free. The truth always comes out.
That was not one of those walk away if you're drinking iterations of our relationship. We've been through many cycles where any sort of drug use would have been a deal breaker, walk away, never again. I'm not doing this again. It's evidenced in many text conversations.
Okay, again, like the word salad of like, let me prove to you in like a 3-second span of why everything I'm saying is exactly 100% true and correct, and everything you're asking me is completely irrelevant, doesn't make any sense, and is unnecessary. That's not how the world works, Amber. Maybe your world, maybe you're used to like manipulating people that way, but the real world doesn't work like that exactly, especially depositions.
Over the years that you guys hopefully have between many different people in his life, from his best friends to his sister to his house manager to his security to his kids, where those were like deal breaker moments, you know, when he would start using again. And they would sometimes encourage me to leave him to support Johnny's sobriety, or they would and then sometimes it would be a different iteration of our relationship where I tried to stay out of it and go to Al-Anon and try not to engage in someone's use.
So is it the truth that when you asked him on
Very
April
possible, Miss
21,
Silence.
2016 to, quote, bring up something to drink and or a joint, end quote, you were asking him to bring those things for other people, not him to use, correct?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying I don't remember the context of these text messages, but if I had to guess, that seems like a likely guess. Either way, no matter if it was in reference to bringing up something from
Why isn't the
utility
lawyer
apartment
objecting?
that he
She's
would have passed if he
speculating.
truly
She's
was on the way
guessing.
home soon and would be passing on the way there, or if it was a means for me to say.
You know what that tells me, by the way? It tells me that they have a narrative. The lawyer and Amber probably have some sort of narrative that they were trying to push that day. And whatever that speculation that she's pushing right now fits within that narrative. So he's not objecting. Exactly. I would move to strike everything she's saying, Alexis. But I guess Blair wants these answers for whatever reason. But like sometimes when she begins to speculate, it's like the lawyer goes, don't speculate. Don't guess. Don't. And now she's like, okay, if I were to guess, she said it like 3 or 4 times, and he's just sitting there. Either he fell asleep or this fits their narrative. And they need to get this information out into the record because it supports their case. It fits a script. Yeah, it's part of a script that they have. That's the only way I can explain it. Otherwise, it makes absolutely no sense why he's letting her speculate so much. Or he just gave up completely, which I don't believe, but it would be funny.
Hey, I'm not going to bite your head off if you come here. Please just don't flake on my birthday party. Either way, I don't remember.
Okay, but either way, it's true that you did not, on April 21, encourage Johnny himself to drink or do drugs, correct?
Not directly, no.
Okay.
And I don't feel like that text message is that at all. It could be just hey dude, I'm not gonna be mad at you
Hey,
just
dude.
because you're high and drunk. Please just don't flake on my birthday party. He'd stay out a lot these days and avoid coming home, and I was afraid that in part of that.
By the way, another pattern I've noticed, and please feel free to disagree with me, but sometimes when she would start rambling on an answer, start saying some things, I noticed a cough from her attorneys. like listen to it again just real quick and watch her demeanor change after the cough. And this has happened at least like 5 or 6 times so far in both volumes of the Depo that we've been watching. Listen, pay attention to what she says. Pay attention to how she reacts. Hold on. There are three pieces here. She says something. There's a throat clearing. Her demeanor and voice change as a result of that. Watch.
Flake on my birthday party. He'd stay out a lot these days and avoid coming home, and I was afraid that in part of that was because he felt I would be.
And then there was like a tap.
Judgmental of the state he arrived in.
Okay.
And maybe that's a little like TMI. You're giving too much information, Amber. Stop it. Signal, which was very possible. Him not coming home. She has a theory, but Johnny's lawyers can create a theory too. You did not want to come home because I was making your life a living hell. Is it possible, Ms. Heard, that Johnny Depp didn't want to come home because you were making his life a living hell? Oh, no, not possible. Not at all. But it's a theory. Matrix says she's beyond salvageable, and where are lawyers? The lawyers are in the room. They're all the lawyers on Johnny's side. Blair is asking questions. And the lawyers on her side are making objections, primarily Mr. Softer. His real name is Mr. Herder or Harder or whatever. We've nicknamed him Mr. Softer because he starts out like a bazooka and then is quickly dismembered and disassembled and becomes like a floppy fish. He's got no fucking spine. All he has is gaslighting, much like his client. That's why she hired him. They're 2 peas in a pod.
So you testified earlier that you did not delete any text from your cell phone, correct? Relating to these events,
No,
correct?
No.
And these texts that we're talking about would still be on your cell phone, correct?
No, because these are from April 21st. This immediately precedes when he threw my phone out of the window. It's a 14th floor window, and it was smashed. And
is there some reason to believe you don't still have these texts?
exactly what I just told you.
You don't still have these texts.
For the reason I just told you, my whole cell phone and everything in it was thrown out of the window by Johnny because he was mad at me. It's a 14th floor window. It was smashed.
Did you throw his cell phone out the window?
I did.
Oh,
Right
okay.
after he threw mine.
I see. So if
his was covered.
I love it. Oh, I see.
In a very protective, thick leather, packaging, wallet thing, and it was protected on both sides. I threw it and then immediately had it retrieved because I felt bad.
Okay.
My phone was out of a cover. It was just by itself, and so it was lost and we never found it.
So it's fair to say, and I don't want to put words on the mouth, but you didn't feel bad about throwing his phone because it had the protective cover?
Vague and ambiguous. It misstates her testimony.
Yeah, he threw mine out of the window first, and then I threw his.
Drawing your attention back to the text on April.
So she's a very eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, very Hammurabi code. You know, he threw mine out the window so I could throw his out the window. He gave me permission to throw his phone out the window by throwing my phone out the window. Very, very Hammurabi code of you, Amber.
April 21 that we referred to beginning, hey baby, bring up something to drink and or a joint, 2 question marks. Is it true that you followed that and wrote to him, quote, I'm in if you are?
Yes.
Oopsies.
I drink wine.
And by referring to if you are specifically saying if you are into.
Okay, let me pause here for a second and just say how epic this fucking comment is. This is another Jack Black from High Fidelity. You bastard, it's so good it should have been mine. You may have done the last one too. Like, you're very, very observant and very good with these zingers. Because for those of you unfamiliar, the Hammurabi code, you know, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. We're talking about cell phones. You threw my phone out the window. I throw your phone out the window. An iPhone for an iPhone. It's so fucking good. This is glorious. That's amazing.
Drinking and smoking the joint, correct?
If you're into bringing the wine up.
Ms. Hurd, what had you had to drink on April 21, 2016 that was alcoholic at the time you say that you observed Johnny arriving to your birthday party late?
I had a glass of red wine. I don't remember which kind.
Just one glass?
Yes, it was just one glass.
Had you ingested any cocaine by the time Johnny had arrived at your party on April 21, 2016?
No.
Had you ingested or smoked any other drug prior to Johnny's arrival at your birthday party?
Absolutely not.
Throw those mega pints up in the chat.
Once Johnny arrived,
Mega pints in the chat.
What did he do?
He walked in the door.
Okay, what did he do next?
I don't remember what his next move was, but eventually he sat down next to me.
Okay. Do you know how long it was before he sat beside you?
No, I don't remember.
Do you remember
do have
anything
merch.
that happened?
I do have merch. It's on my YouTube channel. I think if you look at my YouTube channel and you open it up to my main page, there's home, videos, playlist, community, membership, and then there's a store button, and then you don't have to buy the 4 that are on there. You can just click on the bottom link where it says from spring, and then you can just explore and find all my merch. I know it's a little complicated, but I don't really capitalize on my merch, so I'm sorry, you guys.
At the party between the time Johnny arrived and the time the last guest had left?
Yes.
Okay. Please tell us.
We're almost done.
What you remember?
We're almost done.
About the party after he arrived?
Like 5 minutes left.
Anything of significance that you feel is
Less than
significant
4.
to these proceedings from the time he arrived till the time the last guest left that evening?
I remember when he eventually sat down. I remember his behavior seemed odd, as I described before. He seemed, he didn't make any eye contact with me. He seemed to be shifty, avoidant of talking about why he pretended that he wasn't late or that it was not something I could respond to or would have felt. He was shifty. He was kind of curt. My friends went around the table. Everyone was trying to talk to him, and he was not communicative. He was he was communicating in a way that I guess if you know him, you recognize as odd. And we went around the table and we talked about we talked about significant memories that he and I might have shared. We talked about significant memories that everyone has of me, and Johnny didn't want to participate.
How dare he? It is my birthday, and we are talking about me, not just me. We are talking about significant memories that everyone shares with me. And Johnny fucking Pirate Depp refused? The man who convinced the world he had scissors for hands did not want to share memories about me? Oh, that was it. That was the last straw. Unacceptable. He has to go. He's got to go.
We talked about significant memories that everyone has of me, and Johnny didn't want to participate, and I thought that was really strange. And then Raquel prompted him.
Wait! I think her lawyer wanted to object or something. Did she just wink at her lawyer like, "Don't worry, babe, I got this"? Did you catch that?
Participate. And
she winked at him. She fucking winked at him. He said something and she winked at him. Watch it again.
As of me, and Johnny didn't want to participate.
Watch right there.
And that
was a wink.
I thought that was really strange.
That was a wink.
And then Raquel prompted him to speak. And when he finally did speak, he didn't know what to say. And
again, I reiterate, how dare he not have any loving romantic stories to share about me on my birthday? You vile pirate. You go back to the Caribbean from whence you came. Ha!
Raquel helped him out by offering a story that he has told before that is kind of sweet and endearing, and he stumbled through it and then talked about my ass, talked about me being young and him being old. And everyone at the party started to kind of look a little uncomfortable, and my friend Amanda looked at me and mouthed the words, "I'm sorry." And when he was done talking, Raquel, I grabbed Raquel's hand, squeezed it, and said, "Thank you for trying to make that work," because it was my 30th birthday, and he was the only one who was not able to really participate in it.
Again, I reiterate, how dare he? Wait, what? Why is everyone saying Aquanet? Aquaman. What am I missing? Did I miss something? Aquaman, Aquanet. Why is everyone talking about Aquaman? What is that in reference to? He didn't have any sweet stories, and he started talking about her ass, and everybody was apologizing. I'm sorry, what did I miss about Aquaman, Aquanet? Or is it just like a joke? Oh, nothing. Okay, all right, let's finish it out.
Okay. And in terms of
Oh.
the text you
I thought I missed
you say
something,
you
like an
sent
inside joke.
Johnny before he arrived at your birthday party on April 21, stating, quote, "Hey, baby, bring up something to drink and or a joint. I'm in if you are." When he arrived, did he have a joint with him?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, what did he do with it?
I don't remember.
Okay, should we pause? I'm being informed that we need to switch our media.
Okay.
This marks the
We can
end
just
of-
stay.
The end of media number 2 in the video deposition of Amber Depp. The time is approximately 3:13 p.m. and we're going off the record.
Okay. And that's volume 2.
All right, everyone, that wraps up volume 2. I want to thank you again for watching, sharing, liking, subscribing, and just overall supporting the channel. It really means a lot to
Go
me.
subscribe to him.
So until next time, if there is a next time, take care.
Go subscribe to Incredibly Average. Why does he say that? Until next time, if there is a next time. Seemed like not planning on creating content in the future. I know he went dormant for a while, but his stuff is just so good. But holy hell, here we are, almost 4 hours later. Jesus Christ. It is. I'm in San Francisco for the Kristen Smart murder trial. So I'm going to be reporting on the jury for the first time. We are going to get a first look on the Kristen Smart jury. I thought it was going to be tomorrow, but unfortunately it's another dark day, which was a late edition, unbeknownst to me, but I learned that from Chris, what's his name? Chris, not Hemsworth, Chris Lambert. Chris Lambert, the guy who did the Your Own Backyard podcast. So Chris tweeted on Friday, and he repeated it again today, that there is no trial tomorrow. So I'm not going to be able to do that tomorrow, but Wednesday, I'm going to give the world a first look at the jury of the Kristen Smart murder trial. There's probably at least 35 people in there, so I'm going to give the collective vibe of how it feels like. I think the prosecution is still on their case in chief, so I'm hoping to catch some direct examination, some cross-examination of witnesses. Yeah, it's going to be very exciting. So here it's early. It's like 9:20 right now, but back home it's past midnight. It's 12:20. So my biological clock is a little run down, but I'm so glad that we did this. We got through another volume. I believe there should only be either 1 or 1.5 more volumes left, because what timestamp did we stop on? The timestamp was like 3:15, 3:12, something like that. 3:12. So 3:12. I think the Depo goes until 6. So there's only like 3 hours left. And of course, with commentary, if volume 3 gets released, or not if, when volume 3 gets released, I imagine it's going to be another 2 hours long. So we'll do that, volume 3, and then volume 4 should be fairly short. Volume 4, I anticipate, will only be an hour. Yes, it is 9:20 in San Francisco. I'm going to grab myself a bite to eat. 2 more videos left, so 1 more volume? No, I don't think so. unless he's going to cram it into a 3-hour volume, which is going to be difficult to do. Not difficult, but would take a while. It would probably be like a 5-hour stream or something. I'd rather not do that. I'd rather like maybe even break that up myself, and I'll call it like volume 3 part 1, or I'm calling these pieces parts. So it'll be like part 2A. I'm sorry, we already have part 1, we have part 2. It would be like part 3A and then part 3B or something. I'll break it up in some way so it's not like insanely long, because the first volume was like 3 hours and 15 minutes. It's just I had a lot more commentary on this one, an extra like 40 minutes worth of commentary. So I thank every single one of you for joining me. I had so much fun. We had like 1,500 people in here at one point when we were at our peak. So I really enjoyed all of your comments and all of your super chats. And I thank every single one of you, because without you, this would not be tolerable, because this woman, I can only take so much of her, and you guys make this fun, enjoyable, tolerable. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. Thank you for joining me. And I love every single one of you. I will see you in my next video. I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow, but most definitely on Wednesday, I'm going to be tweeting, and I'm going to be releasing never before seen, never before heard, first eyes on the Kristen Smart jury. Let's go. Have a great week. It's a short one. It's just 4 days. Have fun, everybody. And I'll see you on the other side.